It's a song about the best mayo. Has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
The Chris and Amy Show on KMOX. Brought to you by St. Louis Union Station. Twists, turns, and tons of fun away to the new rides at St. Louis Union Station.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, hit it.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores. The Chris and Amy Show.
You know who it is.
Also, if you didn't know, this is called the show.
On 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Good morning and a terrific Monday. We're going to have a good one for the next few days. It's going to be really hot.
Yes.
In the 90s.
Yes.
We're going to celebrate the hot, John.
Yes.
John Hancock is in for Amy Mark's course today on the Chris and Amy Show. I'm Chris Ranji. Hello, hello, hello. Call us and text us 314-436-7900. If you would like to watch the show because you're a visual person and a visual learner, you can do that on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We are on Twitter at Chris Amy.
We
KMOX.
got charts and graphs today, don't we?
We do not have any charts, nor do we have graphs. I don't know how to make them.
Well, you get the spreadsheet out there, and
The
you
spreadsheet.
start popping in the little stuff, and then there comes your charts and graphs.
Never learned how to use spreadsheets. I guess I should have tried.
I love spreadsheets.
Time now for the top of the order. The top 3 stories everyone will be talking about.
The suspected killer of Charlie Kirk has been in custody for several days, but authorities say he is not cooperating with them. Well, at least this is what the governor of Utah is telling us. And of course, if we have developments, we will continue to bring those to you.
And speaking of governors, former Illinois governor Jim Edgar passed away over the weekend at 79 years old. A really, really fine gentleman.
Cardinals salvaged the finale of the series against the Brewers, but they lose the series. However, this is it. The final homestand of the season will begin tonight. Cardinals take on the Reds. We got a first pitch at 6:45 here on KMOX and the pregame show at 5:50. So what do you think of that, John? That's a look. They're 4 games out of a wild card spot.
You never know.
Okay, so
You never know.
I didn't intend to start here, but I'm thinking of it right now. If they had just played a little better over the last 10, just slightly better, they could be a couple of games out of a wild card.
Yeah, I mean, the Mets have collapsed, and, that's what happened back in 64. The Phillies collapsed, and the Cardinals won the pennant that year. So you never know.
You never know. But right now, it is the final homestand of the season for the Cardinals, and unless something changes fairly dramatically, they are going to miss out on the playoffs yet again. But I do not like this time of year. I don't like the time of year when, and we're only used to it lately,
right?
But for many years, we're not used to the season ending at the end of September. You're just kind of getting ready for October.
Yeah.
You're thinking, oh, Cardinals are going to be at least in a division series.
And
right?
and from there, who knows?
Yeah, you never know, right? But it's a weird place to be. And I don't like it. I don't like knowing that the final homestand is starting tonight.
Yeah,
6 games left at Busch Stadium.
Because I kind of demarcate my life with baseball season. Spring. I think, how many more spring trainings will I be alive to see?
That's how you're doing it?
Yeah, that's how I'm doing it. So I always look so forward to spring training because I made it. But the baseball season coming to an end, and when the Cardinals aren't in the postseason, it just it lessens. And I love baseball, and I watch postseason baseball, but it lessens my enjoyment when the Cardinals aren't there.
You're right about that. It does. I love the feel of postseason baseball, the weather of postseason baseball, watching it on TV, seeing players with their breath. You can see their breath because it's cold, late in October.
The little
love
hoodies
it.
Under their baseball helmets.
Blowing into their hands because they can't get the field because it's too cold out. I love watching that sort of baseball.
It's awesome.
It's so much better when your team is in it. It's still enjoyable when your team is not, but it is infinitely better when the Cardinals are in.
Yeah. And, who knows how this thing's going to all play out this year. I'm kind of rooting for the Seattle Mariners, but they've not locked in a place yet in the postseason. So we'll see.
No, but the Philadelphia Phillies have.
Yep. The Phillies have, a legit shot at taking this thing and going.
So the Brewers have, the Phillies have, and that's a what a strange spot to be. You know, I think back on this, and we're going to talk to Matt Pauley, host of Sports Open Line and pre and post game coverage, Redbird Rush Hour. He'll join us at 10:30. But the way I talked, and a lot of us talked about the Brewers just 2.5 months ago, that this team, you know, they're not anything special, and they are like one of the first to clinch a playoff spot. It's nuts the way they have played, and they have played some exceptional baseball. They've got the best record in the sport right now.
Well, they've got a very good defense. Their starting pitching
is great.
Is very solid.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're built for the postseason. The thing that differentiates, of course, the postseason from the regular season is that almost every night you're facing a really good starting pitcher on the other side. And the Brewers offense, I know they've scored a lot of runs. They get on base. They play very good fundamental baseball. But going up against the top pitchers on these playoff teams, I don't know that offense of theirs has enough pop in it to produce enough runs to win a series. Could be wrong. Been wrong. I was wrong back in '87. But, you know, that's kind of how I see it, Ron.
Well, I don't know what's going to happen there. It's stunning, and it probably shouldn't be that they're in that position. It sucks. It sucks because the Cardinals are where they are, and it's not. And it feels like it's going to be some time before they get back to that. I know that there are some people that say, "Hey, this could be a really quick turnaround." Don't worry. I don't know about that. I appreciate your optimism. I don't see it yet.
They're 2 front of the rotation starters away from being relevant, and you're not going to get 2 front of the rotation starters in one off season in baseball as it exists today. Just not. Teams don't trade them. We don't go and give multi-year contracts like 5-6 years, 8-year contracts to free agents.
Yeah.
So you take those 2 things out of the equation, you're going to have to grow your starting top of the rotation guys, and we're just not there yet.
A listener has texted in, "Get over it, boys. The St. Louis Blues are coming. Turn the Cardinals off." Well, you're welcome to do that.
How about that?
It's still baseball season. I don't want to get over it.
Yeah.
You get over it.
No, and I'm all in for the Blues as well. I think that club could be a real force this year. They're in a tough division, but the way they've been put together here, and Doug Armstrong has to be one of the top general managers in sports. I mean, period, across the board, for the way he has built these Blues teams, and he's built a good one, I think, this year.
Yeah, they might end up being very, very good, but this is still more than anything, and probably always will be, a baseball town.
Oh, sure.
So all it takes is for the Cardinals to be good for a little bit, and people are right back in. And it's been part of our identity for well over 100 years. So it kind of has to be. And when they are not good, it's noticeable and it's painful. It's really painful. And maybe that speaks to how lucky or fortunate we've been over the past couple of decades that they've been such a competitive team. You know, won World Series, appeared in others, won divisions, multiple division titles, you know, getting to the playoffs pretty routinely. That's a great run the Cardinals have been on. But it doesn't feel quite right.
Yeah.
When they're like this, when they are where they are right now, just because baseball is such a big part of the identity of St. Louis, and it's always going to be like that.
So I was a kid during the 70s, which was a difficult decade for Cardinal baseball. They had a couple of good years in there, and they had some great players, Gibson, Brock, Simmons. But, they didn't win anything in the 70s. And, of course, back in those days, you didn't have division play like you have now. So you either won your league and went to the series, or you didn't. So, and the Cardinals, just had a rough decade, and the stadium was relatively empty as it is when we see it now. Yeah. So it will take a winning ball club. When my grandpa was a little guy, the Browns were the favorite team in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
And they were the better team for most of the 1920s. And then the Cardinals came along, Branch Rickey, and the Cardinals built that thing. They built the farm system. They were the first to do it. And they were able to build the farm system because they didn't have to own and maintain a stadium. They leased Sportsman's Park from the Browns. So they had none of the upkeep, none of the maintenance. They didn't have to pay for the stadium. And they took that money, they invested it in a farm system. And by 1926, they won a World Series. But in the early 1920s, the Browns were a very good team and never went to the World Series in the 20s, but they were a very good team. And they were the team that most St. Louisans rooted for.
That's John Hancock. I'm Chris Ranji. We're mourning the potential end of the Cardinals season unless they go on a run. You know what? I'm going to leave open the possibility they go on a run.
There you go.
Okay?
I mean,
can I do that?
Yes. Stranger things have happened. Right?
Well, I'm going to allow us to hope. You're allowed to hope if you want. Get back to us if you're hoping. 314-436-7900. John Hancock is with me. Chris Ranji. Amy is out. Chris Saliza will join the show at 11 o'clock. A lot to talk about with him after last week and just a brutal week here in the country. So we'll talk to Chris. That is coming up on the Chris and Amy show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I'm Kristen Press.
And I'm Tobin Heath.
We're World Cup winners, Olympians, and the hosts of the Recap Show.
Every week, we sit down with the icons, disruptors, and game changers on the field and beyond it to talk victories, heartbreaks, and everything in between.
We've built a space where athletes, change makers, and people creating the future of women's sports can show up and show off as their full, unapologetic selves.
Follow and listen to The Recap Show wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Your biggest choice in home restoration is who do you trust with your home, your most valued asset? Well, if you can match Banner Construction's experience and dedication to excellence, Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor and Pella window specialist. Restoration is a one-time opportunity to have Banner's design team show you architectural options to make your home the neighborhood showcase. Call for a free consultation today. 314-569-1050. Now hiring qualified carpenters. BannerConstruction.com.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, focusing on the Siteman Kids program at St. Louis Children's Hospital, and Dr. Mohammed Abdul-Baki.
I think we're definitely one of the top brain tumor programs in the whole country and in the world as well. We are the top program in Missouri that has trained pediatric neuro-oncologists.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, go to siteman.wustl.edu.
It's 9:20.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up. SolarPro.com. Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Mark Cantor at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, so I take this very seriously. Mark is a great attorney. He has a great team. He is from St. Louis. He is local. Call 314-628-9999 or visit CantorInjuryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
At SolarPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium. Explore the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station.
John Hancock is in for Amy Mark's course today. I'm Chris Ranji. Till 12 o'clock, then the Gas House Gang at 12.
Ah, the old Gas House Gang is coming in.
The Gaseous Gang.
Who's on the Gaseous Gang today?
Well,
it's going to be you.
It's me. It is Tom Ackerman. Tom Ackerman. Yeah, he's on
John
the show.
Rooney.
John Rooney will join the show at 12:30.
Wow.
So we'll talk about the birds.
What does John Rooney do in the offseason?
I don't know. He probably relaxes.
Yeah.
College basketball games?
Oh, he does some Missouri Valley, the tournament.
Okay. Cool.
Missouri Valley basketball.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So we will talk to John, but the Gas House Gang at 12 o'clock as the Cardinals start their final homestand of the season. So we learned of the passing of former Illinois Governor Jim Edgar, and he was 79 years old when he passed away. And John, you had some experience with him. I don't know that you knew him really, really well, but what we do know is that he appeared to be pretty popular with both parties.
Yeah,
while he was in office.
An old school Politico. He's a former governor of Illinois who didn't go to prison, which puts him in a kind of a unique
Pretty nice,
status.
isn't it?
Yeah. Really just a wonderful guy. And I got to know him a little bit. I wouldn't call him a friend by any means, but I got to know him a little bit. And several of my friends worked for him in the administration when he was governor. And to a person, they had nothing but good things to say about him. He was gracious enough to, way back when I was running for Secretary of State, he was my headliner at a fundraiser. So I got to sit at the table and we visited all night. He had just become the governor. And he was also on hand with me at the night that Mark McGwire hit his 62nd home run. That was a game against the Cubs
in September. September 8th, I believe.
It was September the 8th.
Yep.
He and John Ashcroft were both together in the box that evening, watching the game. Both of them signed my scorecard, and he, he was knew his baseball. Did Jim Edgar knew his baseball? But I think he's probably best remembered as somebody who really did build consensus to govern the state of Illinois. Illinois had a series of Republican governors. Hard to imagine that today. But going back to the early 1970s, there was pretty much an unfettered string of Republican governors for the next 25 or so years. And the control of the legislature would flip back and forth between Democrat and Republican. And Edgar, I don't remember if he had Democratic majorities in the House and or Senate. I suspect he probably did. And that's when you're a governor of one party and the other party controls the legislature, that's really, those are difficult periods to navigate. And he was quite good at it, and he was a consensus builder. He was very forthright. And yeah, I'm sorry he's gone so young, 79 years old. Jim Edgar, former Illinois governor, former Illinois Secretary of State, an academic, and just a great guy.
It's interesting. It's only been 6 years since Illinois had a Republican governor. It's easy to forget about Bruce Rauner, who was out of office in 2019. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's it was fairly recent. What I am wondering is, and I know we have this conversation or conversations like it a lot, and it disturbs me that we even have to have it. But when are we going to get to a point again, whether it's at the state, local, national level, where we can have actual consensus? And I don't mean like there's a one-off topic that everybody agrees on.
Sure, right.
And they're rare, and both parties can get behind it, where it's just automatic, where clearly you have to support it, whatever it is. But when are we going to get to that point where we do have actual consensus? Because it seems to me there are a lot of people out there, and it's not just politicians, but I think there are also the electorate kind of doesn't want there to be compromise. They want it the way they want it, and that's the end of the story.
Well, that's certainly true on the edges, the ideological edges of the two parties. And we used to govern in putting together, getting things passed. We used to govern from the center out. You kind of start in the middle, get as much as you can, in your direction, give as much as you have to in the other direction, and you get something passed. Today, we govern from the fringe in, and you go for as much as you possibly can do to mollify your flanks, and then you slowly erode as much as you have to get to 50% plus one. And so it's a different approach to governing. Our politics is different. Our governing is different today. And if your question is, when's it going to change? I don't have an answer to you, because there's no ideological overlap anymore. The center is very poorly represented in elective office today.
But also, there doesn't seem to be, as far as I can tell, enough appetite from people to want to go back to that. I think that there are folks like me that talk about it, that like, hey, you're not going to get everything you want. Whatever your ideology is, it just isn't going to happen. So get what you can while you can, and then just be happy with a bit of compromise. Is it that these voices like that, like mine, are just not loud enough? Is it that the fringes are so loud, that's why they control everything?
Well, they're loud and they're growing. And I think, it used to be in the olden times. You always had folks at the outer extremes of the political ideologies. But it seems to me that with the advent of social media, the 24-hour news cycle, all the things that we talk about over the course of the last 2 decades, the folks that have the most strident viewpoints are actually growing in number. And I think a lot of people who would consider themselves in the middle have kind of dropped out. They just, they've had it with all the politics and the divisiveness and the rhetoric, and they just had it. And they stopped paying attention. They stopped voting, yes. And there you have it.
So I thought about this weekend. I know we got to get to break here, but I thought about that a lot, that I did not pay much attention over the course of the weekend to what was going on. And it felt really good. And it alarmed me how good it felt, because it was almost like, man, I could do this for a while, not pay attention. Sure. But the problem is, if you don't pay attention and try to go about your regular life, you wake up one day and go, wait, hold on. Why is everything so crappy? Why is it so lousy right now? Mm-hmm. Because you haven't participated. So I don't know how to handle that.
Well, your job kind of requires
it. Does require me to pay attention. Damn it. That's John Hancock. I'm Chris Ranji. As I mentioned, Matt Pauley will join us at 10:30. We'll talk some Cardinals baseball. They are going to start their final homestand of the season tonight at Busch Stadium. 6 games left to go at home before the 2025 campaign comes to an end. And you know that America's #1 sportsbook is FanDuel. Well, it's coming to Missouri, in case you did not know. December 1st, finally, you will be able to bet on all your favorite teams in all your favorite sports. And really, it is such a great time of the year. You get to winter, and you've got professional football, college football, basketball, hockey, just about everything is going on all at once. And with FanDuel, tons of ways for you to get in on the action. You can bet on everything from money line. You can bet the spread if you want to. You can look to the future. And some of those future bets are really, really fun, like guessing who's going to be the MVP, or which team's going to make the playoffs, win the division, or win the whole thing. And hey, you can even do a parlay if you're feeling froggy. Plus, with live betting, you can even pick which player is going to score the next touchdown or the one after that. And live betting is such a fun way to do it. You don't even have to bet that much, just a few dollars here and there. Download the FanDuel app, and you can get familiar with it now because it's going to be live to use in Missouri in December. So see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel, play your game. 21 and over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey guys, Dave Glover here from the Dave Glover Show. So, what is my show? My show is 4 different people living 4 different lives, all coming together every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. to talk about life, actual life, not so much headlines or did you see what Trump did today or XYZ. Never predictable because I never know what I'm going to talk about from one segment to the next. So it truly is unique and unpredictable. Join us.
104.1 FM, KMOX.
It is 80 degrees in St. Louis. The high today will be 93. The weather is sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley for i3 Broadband, the internet provider in the Pauley household. I think you'd love it if you had them as well. We've got the 2 gig package at our home, 2 gig upload, 2 gig download mirrored, and we're spending less money than we did with the cable company for lesser service. Plus, right now, they've got savings over $400 beyond their already low standard pricing. You got questions? They've got answers. Call 877-976-0711, and they've got people there who can answer all your questions, or head to their website, i3broadband.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
In the fight against Alzheimer's, now matters more than ever because now we have new treatments that could change everything. This is Megan Lynch. Join me Saturday, October 25th at the Chesterfield Amphitheater for the St. Louis Walk to End Alzheimer's. It's the region's largest fundraiser to fight dementia and support those living with the disease because now is the time for action. You can join in the fight by registering for the walk at alz.org/walk. That's alz.org/walk.
Hey, it's Jeff at Sachs Financial. I got a free event coming up to maximize your Social Security, September 22nd and 23rd. Come meet me in person and find out how to maximize your Social Security. Sign up at retiresafestl.com/events.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Chris and Amy show on 104.1 FM KMOX. Got John Hancock in today for Amy. Amy's out all week.
How about that?
So, John, you're powering through. I think we've got Brad Young with us
Brad Young
tomorrow.
From the law firm of Harris, Dow, Fisher, and Young is going to be in here tomorrow, and I will not.
Yeah, I don't know what you've got better to do, but I guess Brad and I will have to figure it out without
you. You guys will be great.
I think so. So we are going to visit, I believe, here in a moment with, in fact, we've got him on the line right now.
That? Through the magic of telephonics.
St. Charles County Executive Steve Ellman is on the show with us this morning. Hello, Steve. How are you?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Marvelous.
Hey, telephonics, is that anything like phonics?
Yeah, it's phonics on a phone is what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's how that works.
I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't either.
So, Steve, we were just talking about Governor Jim Edgar, who passed away over the weekend, and how his popularity with both parties and seemed to do a pretty good job of building consensus. You were listening to the show, and you said, "I've got a good Jim Edgar story."
Well, I do. And he was quite a gentleman, and I only met him one time, but it was over in Lexington, Kentucky at a legislative conference, and I was at dinner at the same table with him. And he asked me, what's going on in the Missouri Senate? And I said, well, we're dealing with this desegregation issue in Kansas City and St. Louis, and it's a really tough one. And he said, yeah, we have that same problem with our Chicago schools. And he said, a couple of years ago when the Republicans finally took the majority in the Illinois legislature, we all sat down. So what are we going to do about the public schools in Chicago? And somebody had the great idea. Why don't we put Mayor Daley in charge of them? And then when they continue to fail, we'll gang up and we'll blame him for everything. And he said that's what they did. And at that point, he said, you know what? They got a long way to go, but they're making some progress. So anyway, I came back to the Missouri Senate the next week, and we were working on that bill, and I offered an amendment to do the same thing in St. Louis, put the mayor in charge. And it went on the bill, but then they laid the bill aside, and we had an interim committee the next year, and John remembers all this. We came back, and we did it the next year. Started over, and Lacey Clay came to me and said, hey, Steve, is it okay if I offer that amendment you offered last year? And I said, sure, it'll be a lot more popular coming from you than from me in the democratically controlled legislature. And he did. And eventually we compromised. Instead of having just the mayor, we had a three-person SAB, a three-person special administrative board. And the mayor got to appoint one, and the president of the board got to appoint a person, so did the governor. And eventually they did get appointed and took over the school district and got it back in order. And but I always thought that was a great story. And John talked about the guy being a problem solver and somebody who could work with somebody else. Well, he might not have had the right motivation, but he was willing to try something different, and it did work.
Yeah, that is a great story. And I do remember that special board that governed the city of St. Louis public schools, and they did improve under that system. A lot of people.
Rick Sullivan.
Yes.
Sullivan, I think, was the governor's appointee, and he and the other people did a super job. And they never did get the test scores up, but they did get the buses running on time, and all the administrative things straightened out. And of course, then they turned it back over to an elected school board, and the rest has been history.
Yeah.
So, Steve, we were just talking about, what our politics is now, and you being involved in politics, and it's seeming like the fringes are dominating, maybe more so than they have in a long time, and comparing that to Governor Edgar's time and how things are just so different. Do you feel like it is more difficult to navigate now than it used to be? And do you feel like it's a little fringier than it used to be?
Oh, absolutely. It's just totally different. And I think John will agree with this, that, back when the Republicans were in the minority in Jefferson City, we weren't totally out of the process. We had extremists then. We had people on the left and the right, and they would make their speeches on the floor, and then the right center Republicans and left center Democrats leadership would get together in a room and say, okay, what do we need to do to get this bill passed? We can all give our speeches, but how are we going to get a bill passed? How are we going to get the necessary votes? What do you need? What do you need? How are we going to make sausage here? And I don't think that happens much anymore. And, you can criticize that method, and certainly wasn't perfect, but I think you can criticize a lot of things that are going on now as well.
So how do we get back to that?
Well, the problem is, and this is true in this region, is that we have primaries, and in the city of St. Louis, they've changed theirs. So let's leave them out of it. Let's talk about St. Louis County. Recently, whoever wins the Democratic primary in St. Louis County ends up winning the general election. And for the last 30 years in St. Charles County, whoever wins the Republican primary. So the problem is, in these primaries, the more radical person in each party has a much better chance of winning. And we're kind of to the point where if you care about the future of St. Louis County, you almost need to vote in the Democratic primary. And if you care about the future of St. Charles County, you need to vote in the Republican primary. But until both parties realize, until there's a competitive two-party system, there's no incentive to have a person from the right center or left center who can actually work with the other side. And instead, we give the voters an opportunity in November only to pick from the two extremes.
Yeah, and you've seen at the federal level, certainly, the control of Congress bouncing back and forth between Democrat and Republican at a pace that is, I think, unique in our nation's history. And part of the problem is that the folks that get identified with those institutions are the folks on the extremes. And I think voters get fed up with left-wing Democrats, and then they put the Republicans in. They get fed up with right-wing Republicans. And we're kind of in this tennis match back and forth for control of Congress. You don't see that as much at the state level. And, Steve, you served maybe your entire legislative career where the governor and the legislature were controlled by two different parties, right? I mean, that's a fundamentally different construct of governing. And today, only 12 of the 50 states have divided control between the governor and the legislature, 12 of them. And that's got to be one of the smallest numbers in history. And that's, speak to that, Steve, of how different it is when you've got a governor of one party and a legislature of the other.
Well, we've got a system of government here, a balance of powers, and people constantly watching each other to keep them in line. And that's more likely to happen when you have two-party rule. But you mentioned the legislature or Congress, John, and that's one thing, going back and forth. But lately, whoever's in charge of Congress, they're really not getting much done. And what we have now is this executive order type of government where the presidents are doing all these executive orders and making all these decisions that used to be in the legislative branch. And the guy making the decisions right now is my guy, and I like the ones he's making. But you know what? That all, the next election, if a Democrat takes over, it all goes away, and we're back to where we were before. So, it's very frustrating. And as a person like yourself who's been in the legislative branch, I'd love to see Congress get a lot more involved.
St. Charles County Executive Steve Ellman, we appreciate you as always. Are you going to run again or what?
Stay tuned.
Okay. You promised to tell us first. You remember that?
Okay,
I thought he was going to tell me first.
I remember that. Yeah, I think I do remember that.
Yeah, he did.
You guys have a good day.
All right.
You too, partner.
All right.
That
Bye-bye.
is St. Charles County Executive Steve Ellman, who was going to retire but may not. He's not decided.
He was at my wedding 35 years ago.
No kidding.
Yeah, we've been friends a long time.
He's a very good dude, and I do
really good.
And I appreciate his desire to have a little more center political situation. I appreciate that.
He's right about the primaries. We're now north of 80% of the elected officials in this country, state, local, federal, are effectively elected office in primaries. 8 of 10, which, means that there are very few competitive general elections. The presidential election is competitive now in 6 states. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we've got, there are 3 states that have a Democrat and a Republican U.S. senator today. All the rest have 2 of whatever. That's historically low to have only 3 states with divided Senate makeup.
So I would say this is not sustainable. As a country, it's not. So what do we do about it?
Well, I tell you, it's sustainable, I suppose. But what you've witnessed in the course of the last couple of decades, and it really is it's that recent, is just the diminishment of the institution of the legislative branch. And Steve talked about the executive orders, and certainly that's a problem. An expansive presidency is that's a trend we've seen for, going on 80, 90 years now, but it's gotten warp speed in the last 20, and it's thrown our whole system out of balance. And there is no real checks and balances from the legislative branch, and that is particularly true when the same party has the White House, and the president just does what they want to do. And it's not, Donald Trump didn't create that. But it's the reality, it's the political reality. And I don't know if Congress doesn't reassert its proper function in our system, I don't see it getting any better.
Yeah. And to me, and I'm guessing we're on the same side on this, it makes me very uncomfortable, the idea, and this has been a more recent phenomenon, that, this person is the president, then they should get to do what they want. They're the president. What do you mean? And no, that's not how it's ever worked here. You don't get to do whatever you want because you're the president. You have to work with Congress. You have to be in line with the judicial branch too. You don't get to it's not unilateral.
The entire purpose of our founding documents was to restrict and limit the power and reach of government.
Of one person.
And of the government generally.
Sure.
And conservatism historically has been the ideology that supported and desired limited government, limited intrusion into the private sector, limited effect on people's individual lives and the way they go about doing things. And we don't live in that. There is no conservative movement in this country right now that is comported as our founders would have envisioned restraining the role and reach of government.
John Hancock, Chris Ranji with you today until 12 o'clock. This is the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Our office computers were from like 2012.
What? They had computers then?
Yeah, I don't know much about new tech.
Apparently.
So I went to Staples and saved big on an AI-powered HP laptop and HP OfficeJet Pro printer, which also came with 3 months of free instant ink.
And we're back in this century. During Staples HP Tech Event, save up to 35% on HP printers and up to 40% on AI-powered HP PCs.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. Into 11/1 select models only.
This is Debbie Monterey, and if you or a loved one needs some extra assistance to age comfortably and safely at home, look no further than Ever True Anywhere Care. Formerly Lutheran Senior Services, their team walks alongside you every step of your journey. Whether it's navigating a dementia diagnosis or handling end-of-life care and bereavement, they offer world-class caregivers right here in St. Louis. Call 314-597-6498 or visit evertrueanywherecare.org.
The KMOX City SC Soccer Showcase, presented by Mix
Michelob Ultra is back. Next stop, Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill in Arnold, Thursday, September 18th. A limited number of fans can get an autographed picture from City SC player Timo Bunkartle. Win great prizes, enjoy great food and a cold drink. Hot Shots in Arnold is the place to be Thursday, September 18th from 6 till 8 p.m. for the City SC Soccer Showcase, presented by Michelob Ultra. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Your home equity could vanish almost overnight, stolen by scammers who forge a deed and transfer it out of your name. The FBI calls it house stealing, and the worst part is you may not know it until it's too late. Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO for a 30-day free trial, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now. Promo code RADIO.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. One question I'm always asked is, how did you become the largest injury firm in the world with over 1,000 attorneys and $25 billion in verdicts and settlements? One way was our financial strength. Medical malpractice is the third leading cause of death in America. To prosecute a typical case costs up to $250,000 in case cost. We advance them all. Product liability cases can have similar costs with an army of lawyers on the other side. Automobile insurance companies have the resources to fight. Guess what? So do we. Many law firms simply may not have the financial firepower to work up your case the way you deserve. And we don't charge by the hour. No recovery, no fee. If you have a question about your case or wish to become a client, go to forthepeople.com on your mobile device or computer. 24/7. It's that easy. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Tom Ackerman here for Busey Bank and Building Community. We honor the St. Louis Kaplan Feldman Holocaust Museum for using the history and lessons of the Holocaust to reject hatred, promote understanding, and inspire change. Visitors to the museum are empowered to translate the history of the Holocaust into meaningful action to make our community stronger. Visit the St. Louis Kaplan Feldman Holocaust Museum in person and online at stlholocaustmuseum.org.
This is Pat Buring, Executive Vice President of Busey. Building Community is creating bridges that bring people together. A visit to the St. Louis Kaplan Feldman Holocaust Museum reminds us that by rejecting hatred and embracing understanding, everyone feels safe, valued, and connected. A community where everyone thrives is what Building Community is all about. Join Busey. Get involved as we continue building the communities we call home.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Markscores, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM KMOX. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
John Hancock, would you love to live to be 100?
No.
Okay. Then don't move to Japan.
Okay.
Because Japan has set a record of nearly 100,000 people aged 100 or more.
Wow.
Yes. So for the 55th year in a row, the number of centenarians in Japan was 99,763. That is as of this month.
It's all that fish they're eating over there.
Yes. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Seafood is very good for you.
I know it.
So of that total, women accounted for what percentage? Let me ask you, what percentage?
63%.
88%.
Whoa. Wow.
88% of the 99,000, almost 100,000 people in Japan who are 100 years or older are women. What do you think that means?
Well, I think it means that, the Japanese men are very easy to live with over there.
See, that's what I think, too.
Yeah.
How about that? The oldest person in Japan right now
114
is 114.
Unbelievable.
Shigeko Kagawa is a woman from Yamada Koriyama. I believe I pronounced that correctly.
That's that song by Styx.
No. And the oldest man is Kiyotaka Mizuno, who is?
He's 106.
He's 111.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right.
I don't know.
He turned 106 during COVID. I forgot about that.
Would you want to be 114?
No.
When it, it comes with being 114. Like you're alive, but
right.
It's just.
Well, it's like the kid. He gets a job at the newspaper, his first job, and they send him out to go interview the oldest guy in town. And he goes, he knocks on the door, and the old boy answers. He said, "I'm with the paper. Can I come in?" And he said, "Sure, come in." He said, "So what do you owe your longevity?" He said, "Let me tell you, son." He said, "I've never had a sip of alcohol in my entire life. I don't smoke. I walk at least a half a mile every day, and I'm very faithful to my religion." The kid said, "Oh, that's great." And all of a sudden, you hear boom, 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 boom. And the newspaper guy, he's startled. He says, "What's happening?" He said, "Oh, that's Dad. He's drunk again."
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, John.
All right. There's been 5 quarterbacks that have led their team to 50 or more points in a game.
Why are you bringing this up now?
Tom Brady, Lynn Dawson, Drew Brees, and who's the other two? Oh, yes.
Jared Goff.
Yes, Peyton Manning and Jared Goff.
Okay.
Jared Goff.
Well, John brought that up for a reason. Just to get at me.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's doing this on purpose.
I'm sorry.
And we will talk more about this because it was not a very good weekend.
It's rough out there.
Not a very good weekend. If you're a Chiefs fan, they have fallen to 0-2 to start the year, John. And so is another team that shall not be named. John Hancock, Chris Ranji. This is the Chris and Amy Show. Hour 2 is coming up. We want you to stick around and visit with us at 314-436-7900. Matt Pauley will be with us at 10:30 on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. openphone.com/TRY.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
You all remember me mentioning my wife's thermostat being broke because of the, the change of women evidently have to go through, which is horrible. People called me asking me, how did she feel about me sharing her insanity? I did notice seeing her looking through a fork at me. So, hey, guys, if your wife, your girlfriend, your better half is looking through a fork at you, look it up. Why? You're going to be shocked. But she's still happy that she's got air conditioning. So you need help. You need pricing. Somebody told you need new equipment. Remember, Bart Inman, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. But guys, look up wives looking through forks at husband. You better change your program around. God bless.
Hey guys, Dave Glover here for the Dave Glover Show. So, what is my show? My show is 4 different people living 4 different lives, all coming together every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. to talk about life, actual life, not so much headlines or did you see what Trump did today or XYZ. Never predictable because I never know what I'm going to talk about from one segment to the next. So it truly is unique and unpredictable. Join us.
104.1 FM, KMOX.
It is 10 o'clock and we have some clouds, but sunshine as well. And right now it's 80 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. President Trump travels to London tomorrow for a state visit. It comes as England is facing its own political upheaval. Tens of thousands marched through Britain's capital over the weekend in one of the largest anti-immigration rallies in UK history. CBS News correspondent Holly Williams has more.
At the weekend march, Elon Musk dialed in with a warning for the British people.
Violence is coming to you. You either fight back or you die.
There was a much smaller counter-demonstration by anti-racism protesters. As the police worked to keep the two groups apart, there were scuffles and several arrests.
Prime Minister Keir Starmer has condemned Elon Musk's comments as dangerous. Grocery prices on the rise. CBS News correspondent Michael George takes a look at one item that is at the top of the list.
A mouth-watering cut of beef is costing you an arm and a leg.
Yeah, I'd say almost $5 a pound more expensive for your ground beef, hanger steak, stuff like that.
The price of beef has shot through the roof, up 13.9% annually in August. Americans were paying around $5.58 a pound a year ago. Now it's up to $6.32 a pound.
Department of Ag projections suggest the price of beef could shoot even higher in 2026. A bill heading for final vote in the St. Louis City Board of Aldermen this week would write into the city code the sheriff is responsible for transporting detainees to the jail. Defending the bill against questions over its legality, its sponsor, Alderman Matt Devote, confident in its standing.
We cited precedent with respect to Sheriff Montgomery's predecessors and how they've handled the detainee transport issue.
Attorneys representing Sheriff Montgomery have told KMOX they will likely file a legal challenge against this law if it's passed and signed. The full Board of Aldermen take it up on Friday. When adjusted for inflation, teachers are making on average $3,700 a year less than they did 16 years ago. That's according to a new survey by Wallet Hub. Its 2025 Best and Worst States for Teachers report lists Missouri as the 8th worst in the nation. Illinois ranked 5th best behind Virginia, Utah, Washington, and New York. The business desk sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. St. Louis Kolache continues to expand into new markets. It started 10 years ago in Creve Coeur and has grown to 10 stores outside the St. Louis area. It's called American Kolache. They're rolling out a frozen version in Walmart and may possibly get into online catering. Russ Clark tells St. Louis Magazine they presented at an open call in Kansas City and impressed enough to get a fast pass, like a golden ticket, that gets them immediately invited to Bentonville to finalize the Walmart deal. Additionally, their product was shown this weekend at Optimum Catering Solutions that supplies airlines in the U.S. and Canada. He calls the latest developments like going from 0 to 100, but says they are ready.
Hot and humid this afternoon with sunshine amidst some high clouds. The high temperature 93, partly cloudy early tonight, then clear late, though 68. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and hot, but not as humid for the afternoon, high 94. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
We have clouds and sunshine, 80 degrees downtown. It is 10:03. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Sponsored by Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
The Chris and Amy Show on KMOX, brought to you by St. Louis Union Station. Step into the next chapter of family fun at St. Louis Union Station, where new rides bring fresh excitement to a timeless destination.
Well, John, I guess the silver lining, and by the way, it's John Hancock, Chris Ranji today on the Chris and Amy Show. Amy is out, hour 2 of 3. The silver lining from yesterday, which was not a particularly good football day for many of us. If you're a Chiefs fan, not good.
Not good.
They're now 0-2 on the season. If you're a fan of the stupid Bears, they are also 0-2. But it feels like they are completely different places.
Yeah, I don't think
Totally different.
I don't think things are going to go well for your Bears this year.
Oh, you think? They're so bad. So nothing has changed. Nothing has changed.
No.
So we do our no prize pick'em challenge every Friday.
I was here.
You were here for that because Amy is out. We like to have a listener participant.
I believe that was Josh.
It was Josh this week.
Yeah.
We also like to have a celebrity guest picker.
And we had a good one.
And it was Fire Chief of St. Louis, Dennis Jankerson, who participated with John Hancock and me. And all we do is go through a handful of the NFL games.
That's all we do.
And then we pick who's going to win each game, and whoever gets the most right wins. I'm happy to report, John, that the only thing good that happened yesterday was I won again.
Chris Ranji.
So the Bears are 0-2. I am 2-0.
Wow.
I picked every game right. I got the Ravens, Seahawks, Rams, Cowboys, Cardinals, Eagles. All those picks I got correct. I missed the Colts Broncos game. Indianapolis ended up winning that one. And I'm dumb. I picked the Bears to win. They did not.
They did not.
I picked the Falcons to win. I was the only one who picked Atlanta to win last night in what was a real snoozer.
It was.
Snoozer. 28 total points.
That quarterback for Minnesota that they had placed so much hope in, they let Sam Darnold
J.J.
walk.
McCarthy.
Has not impressed me in either of his first 2 starts.
Well, he came back and won, and he was Offensive Player of the Week against the Bears on Monday.
I guess.
Yeah. Well, they gave it to him because they stink.
Right.
Worst organization in all of sports.
Wow.
Just a bad organization. They got a good head coach, I think, but they're a stupid organization. They're never going to win ever again.
I'll tell you where there's real problems out there is Miami.
Oh, yeah, they might lose their head coach.
Dolphins were supposed to be, Tua's back, and they got Tyreek Hill, and they're supposed to be, a good team. They look terrible. They're terrible.
Yeah, things are not very good. But again, let's bring this back to me.
To win games, you have to win the game, not lose the game. Honestly, and that is how you lose the game. You're moving the ball down the field. You're 1st and 10, and then you find yourself at 2nd and 20.
I actually really like Mike McDaniel. I wish that this was going better because I like him. That was it. You have to. You have to win the game.
That sounded like a Joe Biden news conference.
What was that first part again?
To win games, you have to win the game, not lose the game.
There you go. So that's I love that.
It was like that gal from she missed South Carolina a few years ago.
And such. That lady.
Yeah.
It was like
that was brutal at news conference.
No, part of me thinks he was just being funny because that's how he is, and I really do wish him the best. I wish he would do well because I like the guy, but it's not going particularly great there.
No, and I think there's dissension in the locker room there, and so we'll see. Not good.
All right, so John also who had so congratulations to me, I won. If you want to participate this Friday, because I beat Josh. So he's out.
See you, Josh.
The only thing
he had a good week. I will say, Josh also got 6 of the 8, but he lost on the tiebreaker.
Yeah, he lost on the tiebreaker to me. It doesn't matter how the sausage is made. It just matters that the sausage.
You gotta have sausage with those eggs.
I won.
That's right.
That's all you need to know. So we are looking for a new participant on Friday. If you are available at 11:30. Or is it 11 o'clock? 11 o'clock.
11:05.
If you're available at 11 o'clock a.m. this Friday and you would like to participate in the No Prize Pick'em, here's what you need to know.
Yep.
Couple of things. One, you don't need to know anything about football if you don't want to. You can pick games for whatever stupid reason you want to pick winners, whatever you want. And 2, you just have to know how to use a phone. That's all you have to do. And actually,
Pretty
there's
low
a third.
bar.
You get no prize if you win.
0.
Nothing. It's why it's called the no prize pick'em. So if you're interested, go ahead and text into the show at 314-436-7900. Give us your name, and somebody might reach out to you, and you could be the participant on Friday. Or if you want to tweet at us, you can do that too. Follow us at Chris Amy KMOX.
We used to give prizes when I started here, and the lawyers shut that all down.
Yeah, not for this.
Oh, right.
You would be surprised. And we love you. We love you.
Every single one of you.
If you're
both of you.
If you're listening, we love you. But some of all y'all get really upset about free stuff. And you would be stunned at how many people complain about free stuff, giveaways, and things not going well for them.
Really?
Yes. Huh. Yes. Like a station will have a giveaway
for a lot of sourpusses out there.
Tickets or a T-shirt or whatever, and people get mad in the manner in which it was given away, or they feel like they didn't have a fair chance. A thing that they didn't have to begin with.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Speaking of tickets, we are giving away tickets to see Jordan Davis.
Oh, wow. Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
Who's Jordan Davis?
I believe Jordan Davis is a country singer.
Oh, that Jordan Davis.
Jordan Davis is performing at Chaffetz Arena on September 27th. And before the show is over today, it's a dude.
Okay.
Before the show is over today, we are giving away tickets to see Jordan Davis. You have to be listening for your chance to win. That's all you need to know. All right. Did you see the thing, John? Ken Rosenthal. You know Ken Rosenthal.
I do.
So,
little guy.
He is a little guy. So he was covering the Cardinals-Brewers game this weekend. Yeah. And there was a moment that got caught on camera where one of the players who had one of the Brewers players, they were bringing out the water, the Gatorade tub, and they were about to throw it on him. And so Ken, who's interviewing the player, jumps out of the way so that he doesn't get splashed with the water. And he backs up into a guy holding a camera, knocks the guy over. The guy's laying on the ground. Rosenthal turns around and looks at him, gives him this dirty look, and then doesn't even try to help him up. So this moment went viral, and he was getting absolutely blasted by everybody. Now, this is Ken Rosenthal, longtime baseball reporter. I think most people know his name. And he's just getting completely torched. Because it was a bad look for him. Yes. He didn't even reach down to help the guy he knocked over. Instead, he gave him a dirty look as if to say, why are you in my way?
Right.
He went on to say during the Foul Territory podcast that he was surprised at how upset he appeared. He said, I was more focused than anything because he had to continue the interview, whatever. But so here's what I'm wondering, John.
All right.
Amy and I were just talking a couple of weeks ago about public shaming.
Yes.
And how sometimes public shaming is beneficial.
Okay.
You don't agree? I think that it is, maybe some people need to be shamed publicly so that they alter their lousy behavior. So here's a guy who acted in a way where he looked like he was being a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
And people jumped all over him. And now he has to think twice about looking like a jerk in public. I think there's a great benefit to this. What do you think?
Could be. I think that one of the least appreciated character traits is genuine humility, because I don't think it's widely possessed. No. And that's an instance where, you've got this guy, Ken Rosenthal, who obviously thinks that, his whatever he's doing is more important than whatever that other guy was doing. And that other guy got in his way. And that's why he reacted the way he did. Well, humility isn't this. I love this definition. Humility isn't thinking of yourself less. It's thinking, it's not thinking less of yourself. It's thinking
more of others.
It's thinking of yourself less. And he wasn't thinking about this other guy in that instance. And so as a result of lacking humility, he gets humiliated online.
Now, this was,
there you have it.
The reason we had this conversation was the woman at the Phillies game the Phillies Marlins game.
Karen.
The Phillies Karen.
Mm-hmm.
You remember her?
I do.
The home run ball hit by Harrison Bader, former Cardinal.
Yeah.
And a guy just walked over to the next section because the ball was in his row. He picked up the ball, went back to his seat, gave it to his son, and this lady came over.
His son on his 10th birthday.
Yeah, lady came over and got in his face and said, hey, you stole our baseball, when she never even had her hands on the baseball.
Right.
So she got roasted.
She did.
By the internet. And I think stuff like that can be useful. Now, it's not to say you can't. Some people may have their lives temporarily ruined because of a bad moment they had, which, sure, there's some. That's probably a little too far.
You know, the guy squeezing his mistress at the basketball game.
The concert. The
it's a
Coldplay
concert. That's what it was. Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe every now and then we all deserve to be publicly shamed if we're acting like jerks in public.
Yeah, and if it can help improve your behavior, then I suppose there is benefit to it.
Now, speaking of being in public, John Hancock was in public recently, and he went to a thing. I've never been to one of these. He went to it, and he has a really great experience to tell us about.
Can't wait.
I can't wait either. I can't believe you went.
What are you talking about? No, I know.
You'll know when we get back.
All right.
John Hancock, Chris Ranji, feel free to join us, 314-436-7900. It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX. It's coming. I cannot wait. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to Missouri December 1st, and you will be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. Couldn't happen at a better time of the year. You got pro and college football, basketball, you've got hockey. It's all going on. And with FanDuel, all kinds of ways to get in on the action. You could bet the money line, over under, bet the spread. You could even bet the futures. How about MVP or who's going to win the championship or just make it to the playoffs? All of that is there for you to bet with FanDuel. Plus, with live betting, you can even pick which player is going to score the next touchdown and the touchdown after that. I love to live bet when the game is happening. It's a lot of fun. And with the downloaded FanDuel app on your phone, you can do it now and get used to it because the app is going to be available to use live in Missouri in December. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel, play your game. 21 and over, present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort, offering small ship experiences with a shore excursion included in every port and programs designed for cultural enrichment. Discover more at Viking.com. That's Viking.com.
Life's unpredictable and full of unknowns, but your vehicle shouldn't be.
No one wants to face an unexpected repair that could derail their plans and budget. That's why we're introducing CarShield, the ultimate way to future-proof your ride. We're not just about fixing problems, we're about preventing financial surprises. You can get a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan designed to save you from out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Imagine driving with complete peace of mind, knowing that if something goes wrong, you'll pay almost nothing for covered repairs. Included in every plan is free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. This protection plan is at an all-time low, making it accessible to any driver. Don't wait for a breakdown to realize you need coverage. Invest in the future of your vehicle and your wallet today. Call CarShield now for your free quick quote. Call 800-908-8646. That's 800-908-8646. Future-proof your ride. Call CarShield now. 800-908-8646. 800-908-8646. Again, 800-908-8646.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium. Explore the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station.
Before the show started today, John Hancock walked over to me and he showed me a photo. And he's wearing a plaid shirt.
Yes.
You're wearing jeans.
I am.
Shirt tucked into your jeans.
Yep.
And a cowboy hat.
Yep.
Did you have boots on?
Had my boots, my ostrich boots, and my belt buckle, which I am sporting today as well.
You got the belt buckle on.
Yeah.
You went to a rodeo.
I did.
So I've never been to a rodeo.
Oh, buddy.
Tell me about the rodeo.
Well, it was not my first rodeo.
Wow.
But it was my second rodeo. So they come out and they put the gasoline out there on the middle of the dirt, and then they light it on fire.
What?
Yeah. That's what they do at the rodeo. And
so it's literal gasoline.
I assumed it was gasoline. I was close. This was in somebody's property. And so they turned the little pit and they got the gates up and all the bulls are back there and the horses and all that kind of stuff, all the rodeo cowboys and cowgirls. And so they light the thing on fire, and then galloping into the pit there is the governor of Missouri carrying the American flag on his horse. And we do an invocation and we sing the national anthem. Jackie Smith, the Hall of Fame tight end, St. Louis Cardinals, sang the national anthem at the rodeo. And then you got the first series of events, which is the riding the bucking bull there. And you got to stay on the bull for 8 seconds. And if you do that, then you would get points, and whoever gets the most points wins.
Did you participate or?
No,
you didn't get on the bull?
You just watch.
Can you ride a horse?
Once. So
and?
It didn't end well.
She didn't fall off, did you?
I wished I had. So
whatever happened.
Well, we're
worse than falling off.
We're at Philmont Scout Ranch in New Mexico, Cimarron, Cito, New Mexico, and it's a 80-mile hike through the mountains, and you climb mountains, and you camp and pitch your tent every night. Kind of a wilderness high adventure, they call it. And one of the days, we were taking a little horse ride. So I'd never ridden a horse, and it wasn't, we were all of us had a horse, and we were in a single file line there, and we're just kind of walking along through the beautiful country. And my horse decides that there's one in every group, he sidles up next to the horse in front of us, thereby lodging my knee right in the horse's crack.
That's right.
And I was another 45 minutes on this horse with horse poop all over my leg, and wearing shorts. And so one of the reasons I don't wear shorts very often anymore.
So in the off chance,
there's nothing worse than horse poop on your knee, Raj. It's a smell that you can't quite. 50 years later, I still can't shake it. So that was my once and probably final time riding a horse.
You wear pants at all times.
Try to.
On the off chance that you might get horse poop on your leg.
You don't want horse poop on your knee.
Well, no,
I mean, it's one thing to get horse poop on your jeans. You can deal with that. But when it's on your, and this was a deal where we only were able to shower like every third day, because you'd have a shower at a facility and a campsite. And so, and it's New Mexico. It's not like there's a bunch of lakes around, So, yeah, that was rough.
I got cow poop on my jeans once.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we were in some farm, and we were driving around in a golf cart.
Yeah. What did it fly out of the sky?
Well, no, so my friend, it was my friend's family's farm. And
Friend's family's farm.
So we have this golf cart. We're driving around really fast in the pasture, and he drives right over a cow patty, and it flew up,
and
it landed right on my jeans.
Wow. What'd you do? Just kind of swipe it off of there? Or?
I don't remember what I did. I just, I didn't like it. I know I didn't like having cow poop on me.
I was running for Secretary of State, and they wanted me to tour a farm in Chillicothe, and it turned out to be a pig farm. And so I get dressed up to take a tour of the pig farm, and he was telling me, he's a great guy. He had one of those high voices. You're gonna love this now. We're gonna go into the barn here where we got and I gotta tell you, man, I got in the car after that. I smelled like, whew. And I got to go back to St. Louis, and I mean, every stitch of clothes I had smelled like a hog farm for the next 3 hours and 15 minutes. And I threw the jeans away. I threw the shirt away.
You throw the car away?
It was tough, man. I think it was Febreze.
Did it work?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of Febreze,
In the car?
Oh, buddy. Yeah. With the windows up. Yeah.
Well, I didn't have an experience like that, but I did go to my 30-year reunion.
Oh, do tell.
Well, it's been 30 years, John.
Yeah. How's everybody looking out there?
There's some people looked way better than others.
Yeah.
Some people not aging so great. But it was a fun time. Went to Granite City.
Anybody you couldn't recognize?
There were a few people I did not recognize.
How big
right
was your
away.
Class?
450, but it was so it wasn't. We just kind of did an informal thing at a bar.
Yeah.
So it was fun. We had a good time.
I'll bet you there's somebody listening out here that went to high school with Chris Ranji, and there's probably somebody listening out there that went to high school with me.
Probably.
436-7900.
When is your what's your next reunion? What would
the next
it be?
one will be 50.
50.
But that won't be until 2032. So. Yeah.
30 is pretty nuts. So 50 must feel. Whew.
Yeah, I don't know. There won't be many of us left, probably.
There's like 6 people.
I played the piano for a 50th class reunion once. Washington U graduates, so they were really old.
Oh man, I should have had you come play at ours.
Oh yeah.
Well, we had a DJ instead.
Yeah, I don't gig much anymore.
You don't do any gigs?
Yeah.
Well, had a great time at the old Jacobs Myers. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And here's what's weird about these reunions.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to this and you were there, I'm not talking about you, but when you get into a conversation and it's like, oh, what have you been doing? That kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you get to a point and you don't know how to end it. And you're like, all right, well, I'll be here. And then you walk away.
Now, here's what you
Because
say.
there just isn't a whole lot more to say.
Here's how to handle that, Ron. Hey, I'm going to go get another. Can I get you anything from the.
Great. I did that.
Yes.
I love that move.
Yeah, it's a good move.
Can I get you another drink?
So my wife, do I have a little teeny? So my wife graduated 43 in her graduating class, high school.
Wow, smart.
They had their 10-year reunion.
I was 26.
She was the RSVP person. We had back when we had answering machines.
Uh-huh.
And so all these people are 43 in the graduating class. This guy calls in. He says, "This is so and so." He said, "I'll be there." And Georgianne said, "I don't recognize the name." So she calls her buddies. Nobody knows who this guy is. A class of 43. How would you like to be that guy? Oh, and it was a 10-year reunion. I mean, it wasn't even. So yeah, poor guy. And then he shows up, and they go, "Oh, yeah,
that's who it is.
That's the guy. That's him."
We called you Smudgy. We didn't even know what your real name was. John Hancock, Chris Ranji. Let's do this. Talk some Cardinals baseball. Maybe a little football, too.
Sweet.
We've got Matt Pauley, the host of Sports Open Line, Redbird Rush Hour, pre- and post-game coverage. Cardinals' final homestand of the season starts tonight. Matt Pauley's next.
Who's been talking about St. Louis sports since 1985? Bernie Miklasz.
This town still cares passionately about Cardinals baseball. The fact that people are staying away actually reaffirms that they care passionately about Cardinals baseball because it means a lot to them and it's personal. When they feel let down, they're going to protest by staying away. That actually tells me that they're passionate.
Bernie Miklasz. Hear what he has to say on the voice of the St. Louis Cardinals. 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is 83 degrees in St. Louis. The high today will be 93, and there's an air quality alert happening right now.
Brought to you by Eamon Gantner and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com. My dad always said, no one gets out of this world alive. Hi, it's Margaret at Eamon Gantner and Capriano. Do you have a will? Eamon Gantner and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com. The choice of an attorney is an important decision that should not be based solely on advertising.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. You know, when you go to the Audiology Center, you'll see a doctor of audiology. And with us right now, Dr. Colleen Bosler. Dr. Bosler, what are some of the signs of hearing loss?
Well, it's a number of things. Sometimes loved ones notice a person asking others to repeat themselves, or the television is too loud. What people tend to notice first with hearing loss is the loss of clarity. They can hear people talking, but they cannot always understand what's being said. That's because the hearing loss can cause you to miss certain consonant sounds, and those consonant sounds give us the detail to the word. A hearing aid can help bring back those details and give you a sense of clarity that you're missing.
Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center with 3 locations in the greater St. Louis area. Call for an appointment, 636-441-7470. Online, theaudiologycenterstl.com.
Hey, Illinois, this is Ben Barnett, board-certified master arborist and owner at Timberline Professional Tree Care. Sorry, St. Louis, this message is for our friends in the Metro East. Did you know that most Missouri-based tree contractors can't legally travel into Illinois? This is due to federal motor carrier regulations that require large trucks and their drivers to be registered with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration in order to travel across state lines. Almost all other tree services in Missouri fail to meet the requirements for safety, drug and alcohol testing, and equipment maintenance that are required for interstate travel. Here at Timberline, we meet and exceed all of these requirements and will be glad to travel across the river to meet all of your tree care needs. Call us today at 636-479-7475 for tree fertilization, pruning, insect and disease treatment, or complete removal. Or visit our website at stltreecare.com. That's stltreecare.com for service in the Metro East area.
It's the most inspiring night in sports, the Musial Awards at Stiefel Theater. You can be in the audience for this nationally televised event from St. Louis. Named for Stan the Man, the Musial Awards celebrate those who uplift us through their extraordinary sportsmanship. Experience the remarkable moments and people that make this an event like no other. The Musial Awards, presented by Maryville University, Saturday, November 22nd. Tickets at musialawards.com.
We all have someone we love, like the favorite lyric in our favorite song. You can't imagine life without them. So tell them today, I love you. Get screened. It could help save their life. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn more.
Fridays mean football. From the zoo to the NFL, we've got your weekend covered.
All 3, ready?
It's Friday football on KMOX.
Runner at first, 2 outs, the pitch. Swing and a miss for a Redbird winner. That was picked out of the dirt by Pajes, tagging Frelick, and this ball game has come to an end. A 2-hour, 51-minute game goes to the Cardinals by a final of 3-2.
Yo, Paulie! Paulie's a great name. Yo, Paulie! What'd you do for Paulie? Anything? Me, Paulie! I was responsible!
Paulie, we're here because of you.
Cardinals were able to salvage one of the series against the Brewers, and now they come back home. 4 games out of a wild card spot. This is the final homestand of the season. A 3-gamer starting tonight against the Cincinnati Reds. We've got a pregame show at 5:50, 6:45 first pitch. You can catch it on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app. And Matt Pauley will have your pregame show for you. He joins us now. How's it going, Matt?
It's going all right. How are you?
Pretty well. So we've got this this thing here that's happening, and I suppose they could go on a tear here, and a lot of things could break their way. But it's very likely this will be the final games the Cardinals play at Busch Stadium this year. So as we get into this final homestand, knowing that it is very, very likely the final homestand, how does it make you feel when you get to this point of the year?
I'm not like, I don't know. It's different every year depending on how the team is doing. This year, I got really excited about who they might be after that month of May, and it's been disappointing since. I've enjoyed like Matthew Liberatore's pitching tonight. I've enjoyed watching him. There's certainly some other individuals that I've enjoyed being able to see them take steps forward. But if the goal of the season was the runway and like to learn things about guys, I think we're at a point now where there's not really enough time to learn anything about anybody else. So, I mean, I'm glad I get to go to the ballpark and watch baseball because I love baseball, and there's still some very fun, entertaining players to watch baseball. But from a big picture perspective, it doesn't feel like there's a lot left to accomplish this year.
Yeah, and we are running out the string here, and some number, and I think it's probably a healthy number of these Cardinal players that are going to be trotting out onto the field aren't going to be here next year. And I think, potentially, do you think you're going to see a large turnover on the roster? You got a new president of baseball operations, and you've seen what you've seen out of a number of players.
I mean, there has to be, because there's just not enough roster spots next year to handle everybody who's essentially on the roster now. And you got to make some room for JJ Weatherholt. You got to make some room for some other guys coming through. They've got too many left-handed bats. So the puzzle didn't get put together this year correctly, and it's going to be that much worse next year when you consider the fact that you want Weatherholt. You want to be able to give Thomas Sajaci a real big league job where he's not shuttling between the Cardinals and Memphis again. So yeah, there's going to be moves that are going to have to be made. And I've talked about this a lot lately. Some people think that that's going to turn into something where maybe you're trading big league for big leagues. And there are some areas that they can add. They can add in the outfield. It'd be great to get a right-handed bat for the outfield next year. I think they're probably going to have to bring in a starting pitcher, whether that's as a free agent thing or whether it's as a trade. But generally speaking, they're going to have to send out more major league players than they bring in. And that's going to create, I think, a very compelling offseason.
And it's compelling, especially when you add to it the reality that 2027 could be interrupted, maybe fully interrupted, partially interrupted. We don't really know what's going to happen, but a work stoppage is expected. So, I mean, how much do you think the 2026 plans are affected by what the Cardinals think will happen the following year?
I don't think they can be. I just don't. And I don't, man, I know baseball's got a long history of labor relations. I know that they've had a World Series canceled in the 90s. Like, I know all this. I've lived through multiple CBA negotiations, but generally speaking, they play out the same way where they don't really talk. It's really, there's a lot of animosity during the offseason. They don't talk. All of a sudden, we get to the pitchers, catchers report date, and they start talking, and then a few weeks later, a deal gets done, and you have a short spring training, and they get the season in somehow. And until it plays out in a different way, that's kind of what I expect to happen.
This Nate Church fellow that's been playing some center field, now he's different outfield positions. Is there a future for this kid on the team? I mean, the Cardinals seem to be sold on Victor Scott II, but there's just not been. If you look at the three outfielders, Nootbaar, Scott II, and then Jordan Walker, not very much production, certainly not enough to merit bringing those three back.
Yeah, I don't think you pencil Nathan Church in as a starter, but I think you look at what he's done this year, and the numbers aren't great. He's a 184 hitter right now. But I think if you can look past a 184 average and kind of look at the sum of the parts and everything that he's done this year, I think you say that this guy can be a big leaguer. Now, is he a starter in the big leagues? I don't know. Maybe he profiles more as a fourth outfielder. Is there more questions now on Victor Scott II moving forward? I think there should be, because offensively, he is still very much struggled, and those struggles have been going on for a while. And Scott doesn't have to do much to be an impact player. He just has to be able to get on base a little bit more. And you look at his numbers, because he had a nice start to the season, but the numbers have just gone down as the year has gone along. In June, he hit 211. In July, he hit 162. In August, 200. So far in September, he's a 143 hitter. His on base just is not good enough. So I don't know what Chaim Bloom is thinking. You just want to figure out a way to get Scott to be good enough to be a pretty solid on-base guy, and then let his legs start doing all the rest of the work.
There has been a bright spot for the Cardinals this year, or a nice revelation with Ivan Herrera, who's been a pretty good offensive contributor all season long. And they've tried him out in the outfield, obviously having catching experience as well, but also being DH. Ultimately, where do you think he lands in terms of defense? Like, where is he going to be on the field?
Yeah, I think he's mostly a DH who occasionally will play left field, and then maybe a year or two down the line, once Wilson Contreras is gone, maybe you talk to him about first base. I really don't think he has much of a future as a catcher, and I feel bad saying that because I know he wants to catch. And I know he put in so much work last offseason trying to fix some stuff, especially when it came to his throwing. The work he did, bluntly, it did not translate to him being much better. Plus, add in the fact that he can't stay healthy when he's catching. He's had lower body issues. And since they moved him off of catcher, he has not had those lower body injuries. So I think you can make a little bit of an assumption there. So especially when you consider who the Cardinals have, there's a very good chance next year a catching tandem is going to feature Pages and Crooks. Bernal is right behind. They've got another stud catcher who's one of the top prospects in baseball coming in behind that. So there's no pressure to play Ivan Herrera as a catcher from like a need-based standpoint. You've got enough catching in the organization. So it turns into, how do you get a guy who's going to be a plus 800 OPS guy into the lineup every single day? And that probably turns out as mostly DH, occasionally left field, long-term, maybe a little bit of first.
Sounds like maybe the Cardinals can play a catcher at every position next year. That would be interesting. We got a lot of them. Got a lot of them out there. You mentioned,
do want, not to cut you off, but because Wilson Contreras isn't a catcher anymore. Ivan Herrera is not a catcher right now, but it is. I wonder if this roster, where you have those two guys plus Pozo, plus Crooks, plus Pages, is this a major league record for most individuals on a single major league roster who have spent most of their career as a primary catcher?
Probably is.
Now let me throw this at you.
Yeah.
What if next year, if all these guys are back and they're playing multiple positions, whoever used to be a catcher has to wear the gear in the field, no matter where they are?
That's good. I like that.
Shin guards, chest protector. What do you think?
Hey, don't forget Pedro Pages played a little bit of second base this year.
That's right.
Let's put him in the catcher's gear at
second base. That's what I'm talking about.
Perfect. But you mentioned Jimmy Crooks, and so you do think he is a good likelihood of being on the big league roster next year out of spring training?
Yeah, I do. I think he almost has to, because you need to, with Bernal coming right behind him, there is a finite amount of time to get him to the big leagues and figure out what you have and whether or not he's your long-term frontline catcher, whether he's going to settle into a backup role, maybe behind Bernal eventually. That's why I'm glad he's up this year. And I think it's very important that he's up at the beginning of next season too.
All right. The bullpen has been, as a unit, really good all season long, or most of the season, once they got settled at the early part of the year. And even despite the trade deadline deals, losing Helsley, who struggled since he's left here, they have, that unit, Matt, has been just really good all season long. Is it personnel? Is it the way they're being utilized? Combination? How do you see it?
Yeah, I think there's 2 games this year since the trade deadline where they've given one up, and that included on Saturday. That was a really, really bad loss on Saturday, and Riley O'Brien and JoJo Romero very much struggled in that game. That was a game the Cardinals should have won. And if they would have won, we would actually be talking about a Cardinals team that's 3 out of a playoff spot right now. Instead, they're 4. But I think 2 things. First off, there's some talented dudes there. Riley O'Brien's talented. Matt Swanson is talented. There's guys who are legit good, and now they've finally been given an opportunity. And I think Oliver Marmol, one of his best strengths is running a bullpen, and he knows when to use guys, generally when not to use guys. He also resource allocation in terms of not putting resources into games that you're probably not going to win. He gets criticized sometimes about leaving starters in too long where they're getting shelled. Well, just the fact that where this Cardinals team is at, they're probably not going to come back and win that game. So don't allocate too many resources to that game because it might cause somebody to not be available the next day. So I do give first and foremost, it's about good pitchers being good. But the second thing is I think Oliver Marmol is pretty darn good at running a bullpen. And I think even people who dislike Marmol, and I know there's a lot of them out there, I think if they're being really honest with themselves, that's one area that they have to at least acknowledge the fact that that's one of his strengths.
And so this is what bugs me as it pertains to people who don't like him. And it's okay if you don't, but if you think he's done a pretty good job with the bullpen, that's like the one job that's the most visible part of a manager's roles. And if he's doing well there, why would you think he's no good? It doesn't make it. That makes zero logical sense.
There's a lot of weird reasons that people don't like him. And I'm not going to be overly critical. I like him. I think he's a good manager. I don't like everything he does. There's certainly some times where
there isn't a manager that you would like 100%. Just doesn't exist.
Not. Yeah. That's why I never have a problem like criticizing Ollie and at the same time saying how much I like him because no manager is perfect, like you said. So I'm not going to agree with everything he does. There's some kind of funky things every once in a while that make me go, I don't love that, Ollie. But you're right. In terms of in-game management, how you manage a bullpen is the single most impactful thing that a manager does do.
Yeah, and it seems like he is very highly regarded by the players. That's very important for a manager. I hope he's back next year. Yeah, I really do.
I hope he is too. Yeah, and look, I don't know what it's gonna. He's got to be able to. He and Chaim Bloom have to be able to go shoulder to shoulder, and we don't know what that looks like. I do think there are some things that he has been blamed for that are connected to decisions that are above his head, and I would love to see him be given an opportunity to manage the team the way Chaim Bloom wants a team managed to see how that looks. And maybe you get through 1 year and you say, okay, this just isn't a good match. And then everybody goes their own way. But I absolutely think that Ollie deserves to at least get a shot under Chaim.
All right, pull that crystal ball out over there, Paulie, and gaze into that sucker. Are we talking Brewers, Tigers for the World Series?
No.
Oh.
No.
All right, well, what do you got over there?
I don't buy the Brewers as a deep playoff run team. Like I don't buy them as a World Series team. How about that? Because they've been built for. We haven't seen it. The track record says that they have a lot of success in the regular season, and then they don't follow it up in the postseason. I don't know who I really like at this point. Like, I'm not trying to hedge my bets.
Oh, come on.
It's hard for me to look away from the Dodgers, even though they have not been exactly, world. I like the Phillies. I think if the Phillies and Brewers matched up in the NLCS, I would be very confident that the Phillies would win. In the American League, I think there's so many teams that can go on a run. That the American League is wide open. A Toronto, a New York, a Boston, a Houston. If Texas gets in, they're going to be scary. They're the hottest team in baseball right now. I have no clue how to handicap the American League.
And I'll tell you, in the National League, people aren't going to like it, but when it starts, I would not want to play the Cubs.
No, you're right.
Just from a playoff perspective,
yeah.
And they're probably down a starter. They probably need one. They needed one other good one, and they didn't get one at the deadline. But that team, I would not want to face them.
If the Cubs and Brewers played in a playoff series, I think I would take the Cubs because I think their roster is better suited for the postseason.
And
I keep dinging the Brewers. I dinged them this year, and look at what they've done. So
me too.
What do I know?
They're the Tom Brady of baseball, because it was like every year toward the end of his career, I thought, okay, this is the year he's no good, and then he wins a Super Bowl and retires. I don't know.
Speaking of football, did you think your Bears had any chance yesterday?
All right, Matt. Matt, it was good talking to you. Thank you for being with us today. Appreciate your time.
That was a sob story. Same old Bears.
Yeah, no kidding, Matt. I watched it, and then I took a nap. I took a nap during the second half because I said, all right, it's nap time.
Well, that was the right time to take a nap.
Thank you, Matt Pauley.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah,
yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
You knew exactly what you were doing.
Bye-bye.
Yo, Paulie, your sister's with me. I'll call you back later. See ya.
Give 50 points to the Lions. Bums. Absolute bums. Nothing changes. New head coach. Great. He's going to unlock it. Forget it. It's KMOX.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, focusing on the Siteman Kids program at St. Louis Children's Hospital, and Dr. Mohammed Abdul-Baki.
We have a large global program that people do not know about, thinking this is St. Louis in the center of the country, and we get consulted on a large number of international consults.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, go to siteman.wustl.edu.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here for 213 Complex, which you can pick up at Supplement Superstores. With school back in session, you're into a new routine. That routine's going to last. Make it a fitness routine as well. I know that's what I'm doing in advance of the holidays, and I'm using 213 Complex to get it done, because what I'm getting is all-day boost to the metabolism, 24 hours a day. I get appetite control, which is huge for me, and all-day focused energy that comes with no jitters. So for you, just go to Supplement Superstores, tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you in. They will give you 30% off the 213 Complex. Find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
It's back, and you're invited to join us in Forest Park, September 19th and 20th, for the 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend, presented by PNC Bank. Attendance is free, and the number of memories and photos you can capture is endless. Special thanks to New Ground International and Blue Moon Brewing Company. The 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend. For more details, visit the events page at KMOX.com.
Here's a few questions for you. From California Psychics. Do your workdays seem to go on forever? Is your career progression as fast as downtown traffic? Or does your boss still not know your name?
Hey, you, Tina, Lisa, Sheila, whatever. Get that report to me by lunch, okay? It's Carrie, ma'am. Just get it done, Terry.
It's time to read the career warning signs and talk to California Psychics. We're always on hand to give you the career guidance you need. You see, we only connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. So you could soon be telling your boss where to stick that report.
Where are you going, Terry? Terry!
Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
This is Debbie Monterey, and I really want you to know about the trusted services that Ever True Anywhere Care provides to older adults who want to age successfully at home. Formerly Lutheran Senior Services, their team of experts specializes in orthopedic care. They also have licensed nurses for in-home support and trained caregivers to help with household tasks like meal prep and medication reminders. Call 314-597-6498 to learn more, or visit evertrueanywherecare.org. evertrueanywherecare.org.
Thinking about a bath remodel or swapping that old tub for a sleek, easy-to-clean shower? Glover here for Michael's Baths with one question: what is there even to think about? Michael's beats the competition by 30 to 50%, uses top-quality materials, and backs it with over 30 years of experience, and now they'll throw in a free shower door or $500 off. Schedule a free in-home consultation, 636-775-0800, michaelsbaths.com. That's michaelsbaths.com.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Roger, tell us about your experience working with 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
We just had a very fine experience with the work that 3-Day Kitchen and Bath had done on our home. They had taken out walls and put in a new kitchen and a new bath, and did it in an extremely timely manner with some of the finest workers that we've been associated with. Easy to work with. They did what we asked them to do. And each of the subs that they had, whether it was putting in the bath, the shower stalls, and they came in a timely manner. The plumber was here on time. The electricians were here when they that they would be here, and things just worked out really well for us. And I've done it myself, and it'll probably take me 2 years.
It's about time.
3 days or less
at 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
All right, we got ducats to give away. Tickets.
That's old Jordan Wallen. What's his name?
No, Jordan Wallen. No, it's Jordan Davis. This is Jordan Davis.
That's right.
And we have a pair of tickets to give away to see Jordan Davis at Chaffetz Arena September 27th. And we need caller number 6 to the contest line at 955-1120, 314-955-1120. And if you are that caller, number 6, you'll get 2 tickets to see Jordan Davis September 27th.
Good seats, too. These tickets.
Well, we don't know that.
Oh, we don't?
Well, don't say that because
they're not a bad seat in the house. Where's he going to be?
You're right.
Chaffetz.
Chaffetz Arena. It is a great venue to see a show.
Phenomenal. And I'll tell you, country music in that venue is particularly magnificent.
Is it?
There's something about the twang in that place that just resonates. It will go right through your body as you're listening
through your
to
bones.
Jordan Wallace, whatever.
Jordan Davis
sing his music, and he's bringing all the hits too. Raj,
is he?
He'll bring them all.
Yep. Such as
Dog Died.
Dog Died.
Have another whiskey.
I don't think. I bet. Did that song say something about cold beer?
It started off with cold beer.
Cold beer. Wow, it's unbelievable.
He's going to sing that one too.
Well, I would hope so. Why would you show up and not play your cold beer song?
Well, exactly right.
So,
we've all learned something. Are we done yet?
Now,
Right.
he has a song called "Buy Dirt." B-U-I Dirt.
B-U-I Dirt.
Yeah. Huh. I'd love to know what that's about.
He's a developer.
If you miss
building
Jordan
a subdivision
Davis,
as we speak,
developer / musical artist. Yep. If you missed out on your chance to win tickets, don't worry. Tomorrow and for the rest of the week, you can win tickets potentially to see Jordan Davis.
Jordan Jenkins is going to be here all week.
Jordan Davis.
Whatever he is.
Jordan Davis.
We love that guy.
Final hour of the show is coming up. Gas House Gang at 12, but it's John Hancock and me, Chris Ranji, for the next hour on 104.1 FM KMOX. Chris Saliza visits with us next.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley for i3 Broadband, the internet provider in the Pauley household. I think you'd love it if you had them as well. We've got the 2 gig package at our home, 2 gig upload, 2 gig download mirrored, and we're spending less money than we did with the cable company for lesser service. Plus, right now, they've got savings over $400 beyond their already low standard pricing. You got questions? They've got answers. Call 877-976-0711, and they've got people there who can answer all your questions, or head to their website, i3broadband.com.
Attention business owners with a net income over $500,000. You need to work with a tax strategist that understands your entrepreneurial mindset. Download the most recent white paper written by E3 Consultants Group titled The Power of a Professional Tax Strategy Team. Go to e3wealth.com/radio to obtain a copy. It's time to learn about wealth and tax strategies that protect your personal and business economy. E3 is ready to help you think differently about your finances. Educate, empower, enlighten. That's the E3 difference.
KMOX News Time, 10:58.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Mid-America's most trusted voice for news. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. One question I'm always asked is, how did you become the largest injury firm in the world with over 1,000 attorneys and $25 billion in verdicts and settlements? One way was our financial strength. Medical malpractice is the third leading cause of death in America. To prosecute a typical case costs up to $250,000 in case cost. We advance them all. Product liability cases can have similar costs with an army of lawyers on the other side. Automobile insurance companies have the resources to fight. Guess what? So do we. Many law firms simply may not have the financial firepower to work up your case the way you deserve. And we don't charge by the hour. No recovery, no fee. If you have a question about your case or wish to become a client, go to forthepeople.com on your mobile device or computer. 24/7. It's that easy. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
It is 11 o'clock, and we've got sun through the clouds and 83 degrees right now in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. A small crowd of St. Louis Hispanic leaders meeting outside City Hall to raise the Hispanic heritage flag just below the American flag, created in 2023 by local artist Jose Garza. City Alderwoman Daniela Velasquez, who has Puerto Rican parents, spoke about the rising population of Hispanics in St. Louis.
The Latino population saw one of the largest year-over-year increases among major U.S. metro areas. The region added nearly 14,000 Latino residents between 2022 and 2023. Our neighborhoods here in St. Louis are living proof of how we can come together to build a strong, vibrant community.
The flag raising marks the first day of Hispanic Heritage Month, which runs through October 15th. Authorities still searching for a motive in last week's shooting death of conservative personality Charlie Kirk. CBS News correspondent Carter Evans has more. He says Tyler Robinson will soon face a judge in Utah tomorrow.
So we'll be able to see those charging documents. We'll be able to see some of the evidence that they have against him. And that'll all be before his preliminary hearing, which will be tomorrow afternoon, for which he will appear remotely.
Some conservatives are targeting people and organizations they believe disparaged Charlie Kirk after his death, even those who were reposting Kirk's own words. They're pushing for firings and punishments, claiming those actions promote hate speech. The campaign has already led to job losses for teachers, American airline pilots, a Marine. Some conservatives see Kirk as a free speech champion while trying to silence those who point out Kirk's often inflammatory rhetoric. If this is America first, it's not an America I recognize. That's what John Danforth says in an opinion piece in the Washington Post. The former Missouri Republican senator says the Trump administration's cuts to food aid for starving people and the dismantling of USAID is profoundly unmoored, and says until this year, feeding hungry people was not a partisan issue. Danforth writes that current political leaders have embraced a concept of America as a nation that only cares about itself, but he believes that generous, big-hearted America hasn't disappeared, but says people must speak out to restore America. The clock is ticking to come to an agreement on a new spending bill.
You have some Democrats, particularly Democratic leaders, who say they are not going to back a bill unless it's bipartisan and includes some provisions to deal with health care. They're still upset about those Medicaid cuts in the big, beautiful bill. Also, a big deadline coming up at the end of the year to potentially extend subsidies from the Obamacare or Affordable Care Act. That's something that's important to Democrats.
That's CBS's Nicole Killian reporting. The business desk sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. For 70 years, the Miriam Switching Post has been an upscale resale shop that benefits students at the Miriam School and Learning Center. But due to rising costs and decreasing profits, the Switching Post is closing its doors in November. But hopefully, temporarily, they cite a 40% increase in costs. Meg Bamford, the head of Miriam School, says it's not the end, but a new chapter. According to the Business Journal, Miriam is reimagining the shop and how to best integrate it with their mission. The last day to donate items is October 4th. We still have hot temperatures in the 90s all week long, at least until the weekend. Today, it's sun and humidity high of 93 with a few clouds in there. And right now it is 83 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. Has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
The Chris and Amy Show on KMOX. Brought to you by St. Louis Union Station. St. Louis Wheel Park now offers 3 brand new amusement rides.
Chris and Amy Show, 104.1 FM KMOX, third and final hour. John Hancock is in today. I'm Chris Ranji. Then the Gas House Gang at 12 o'clock. Congratulations to Craig in Fairview Heights, who I assume called us from St. Clair Square. And Craig has won tickets to see Jordan Davis September 27th at Chaffetz Arena. We will have tickets for Jordan Davis to give away for the other days of the week, so you'll have to be listening for your chance. Now, we go to the guest line this morning, political commentator, independent news creator on Substack, YouTube, Newsphere. You can see him on News Nation as well. His daily newsletter is called So What? It is Chris Cillizza on the show. Good morning, Chris.
Hey, my friend. How are you?
We are doing okay. And the last time we talked, all hell had not broken loose just yet. And it did last week. So the one thing that I was hoping is that there'd be a true call for the tone down of temperature. Some people have done that, Chris, and some people have not. So as you look at the overall picture, where are we?
Yeah, I mean, I think the issue is the one politician who really matters in this is the President of the United States. That's true whether it was Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Barack Obama, whatever, but it happens to be Donald Trump. The president is still able, less able than 30 or 40 years ago, but still able to sort of command attention for what he says. I think that's an unfortunate mismatch from this moment to what we know of Donald Trump. Because he is not someone like most of our past presidents wanted unity. Now they had different ways of trying to get there, but their ultimate goal was to unify the country. That has never really been Donald Trump's goal, and I think he made it clear after the Charlie Kirk murder. You know, he released a video on Wednesday essentially saying, you know, villainizing people and calling people evil are what got us here, and the left does this more. Well, I mean, we can debate about who does it more, but I don't think there's any question that Donald Trump does it. I mean, he literally calls his political opponents evil and says they hate America. So I think we have an unfortunate event, which is the leader of the country is not someone who is focused on bringing us together. And he's going to be the leader of the country for the next 3 years, which means I think we're going to miss this moment that the murder of Charlie Kirk could provide to tone things down. To your point, though, there are people doing it well. I think Spencer Cox, the Republican governor of Utah, has been measured, thoughtful, talked about the need to disagree without being disagreeable and certainly without being violent. Unfortunately, a lot more people are going to pay attention to and hear what Donald Trump says than what Spencer Cox says.
You know, I wanted to kind of move on, if we can, Raj. So we've got this wave now, or becoming wave, of all of these redistricting states. Texas has done it. We've done it here in Missouri, other states looking at it. And, you know, I find the politics of this to be extremely short-sighted on the GOP side. And speaking as a former Missouri Republican Party chairman, because you know, your basic loss in a midterm when you've got the White House and both chambers of Congress in one party, you're going to lose a couple dozen seats at minimum. And there's no way that Republicans are going to be able to add 20 seats here through these machinations, is there?
I don't think so. I think you're looking at, even if Missouri, Indiana, Florida, Ohio, obviously those latter two being probably more important just because they're bigger states with more seats. Even if they all do it, I'm assuming California is going to mitigate Democratic losses. So I think you're probably, the estimates I've seen are you're probably looking at most kind of a high single digit, low double digit gain for Republicans from this redistricting, which would bring their majority up to 14 or 15. And you're exactly right. Traditionally, if this midterm goes like almost every, not every, 98 and 2002 are exceptions, but like almost every midterm election, the party in power, particularly when you control the White House, the House, and the Senate, loses a significant number of seats in the House, especially when the president is under 50%. And I think Donald Trump is likely to be under 50%. So I think this is short-sighted by Republicans, but also by Democrats, because I think ultimately it gets us to a worse place for democracy, which is, you know, if your party happens to win the governorship in the middle of a decade and controls the state legislature, then you just redo everything. And then if you lose it to the other party, then they redo everything. I think there was some wisdom in doing this every 10 years, redrawing the state's congressional and legislative lines. I just think this Pandora's box, once opened, is not easily shut. And I fear we're going down this road without politicians either thinking about or caring about the longer term implications, none of which I don't think are good for the average voter and for democracy.
So we live in a country now where 38 of the 50 states have the same party in control of the governor's office and both chambers of the legislature. Yep. That's historically high. And we live in a country where of the 50 states, all but 3 have the U.S. senators from the same party. We've never seen that before. And we live in a country where something on the order of 80% of our elected officials are effectively chosen in primary elections where not very many people participate. Structurally, I fear, and I'm interested in your thoughts, Chris, I fear that we're doing real structural damage to a system of government that's about to be 200 and almost 50 years old.
Yep, I totally agree. I think people like to bemoan what Congress does or doesn't do, but the truth of the matter is we need systemic structural change to change the incentive structures for politicians. Politicians are generally a reactive species. They go where they believe the votes are. And right now, to your point, the votes are on the extremes of both parties. You know, the vast majority of people, let's say there are 435 congressional districts. If 40 of them are seriously contested between the two parties next November, that would be a lot, which means 390-ish of them are either unopposed or opposed only in a primary. Well, the incentive structure there is not to reach out to the other side. The incentive structure is to become as extreme on one side or the other as possible so that no one can get to your extreme left or your extreme right in a primary. That is the wrong incentive. If we are solving for compromise on big issues, we are not. If compromise is a bad word to most politicians, and it is at the moment, we are not going to get Congress to do much of anything. And so I think you have to have things like potentially multi-district, multi-member districts where more than one person represents a district, or add to the number of districts in the House so that you can have less people being represented, not 700,000 people in every district. You could do things probably more doable, are things like ranked choice voting that prioritizes not just winning the people that are hardcore for you, but also maybe being the second choice of other people. These are things that are, you know, they're not easily done, and I'm skeptical they will be implemented. But until they're implemented, I think we're going to continue to go down this road. And I think this road, again, is not bad for Democrats, not bad for Republicans, it's bad for democracy.
So it to that point, what breaks that fever, if it's possible to even break it? Because I mean, my opinion is that, and maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that the majority of the country, the public, wants there to be actual compromise and work together, and you don't get everything you want. No side should get every single thing they want. Is there any coming back?
They don't vote in primaries.
That's right.
That's the problem. Exactly right. The problem is, yes, the average middle-of-the-road person wants the parties to work together, but they're not involved in the selection of the vast majority of members of Congress. And yes, you know what, Chris, I do think there is a road back. Chuck Todd and I we do a podcast every Monday, and we talk about this all the time. We're both short-term pessimistic, but long-term optimistic about democracy, in that The pendulum always does swing. We are in what I would describe as a bad place. This is not necessarily about Donald Trump in particular, but it is, I don't think we are in a good place. And I think the reaction to the Charlie Kirk shooting on both sides is apparent that we're not in a good place. I do think we will get to a better place. I worry it will take a massive cataclysm of the sort none of us can even really imagine to get us there. But I do think we will ultimately get there. I just wish we could sort of realize we are headed down, we are whistling down a very dangerous road. And it seems as though we're so busy pointing the finger at it's the other person's fault, the other party's fault that we're on this road, that no one can stop and say, okay, we collectively need to do better or we're all screwed. It worries me a little bit that we are not able to have that, what I take to be reasonable conversation with our fellow Americans.
Yeah, one of the things I've observed, Chris, is that it dates back to the passage of McCain-Feingold almost 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. We have so incapacitated political parties as institutions in this country. In the old days, political parties' job was to go out and find the best candidate who could win in a district, recruit them, promote them, train them, work to clear a primary field out for them, all the kind of backroom, cigar-filled, things that people seem to not like, but it actually worked and produced candidates and office holders ultimately that were able to govern. And parties have been absolutely crippled under the campaign finance laws and other things, the Citizens United decision by the Supreme Court. And now these super PACs and 501c4 dark money committees are functionally recruiting and electing candidates. And that's, I think, as detrimental to the system as anything that's happened in the last 2 decades.
Yes. Take that clip. I could not have said it better myself. I have advocated we need more smoke-filled back rooms if you want politics to work. It may seem counterintuitive, but that is exactly 1,000% right. I would recommend people go read a piece my friend Jonathan Rausch wrote, I believe in 2016.
How American politics went insane.
It is one of the most prescient and important pieces you could possibly read. You need structures and strong parties so that we don't get to where we are. We need more, let me make a Missouri reference. We need more John Hancocks, and we need way less Marjorie Taylor Greene, Ilhan Omars, and Lauren Boeberts. And the system that's set up right now, incentive-wise, is to incentivize those latter names and not the former name. And that is, I think, a massive, it's nerdy. I know people think, and it seems counterintuitive, well, why do we need these backroom deals? Because otherwise we are getting what we get right now. And what we get right now is really, really not good for democracy, not good for the citizens, and not good for our mental and spiritual health, which is a whole other conversation.
And the consultant class, the people that are running campaigns, are taking folks that were otherwise kind of right of center, left of center candidates and basically coaching them to the extremes. And so it's not just that extreme candidates are running, it's mainstream candidates are taking more extreme positions in order to succeed politically.
This is the incentive structure being broken. It really is. Until we change the incentive structure, do not expect a change in how our politicians act. It won't happen. You will find yourself disappointed.
Well, Chris Cillizza, I think you and John figured it out. So now we just have to.
I always like to bring a little negativity and pessimism on a Monday afternoon.
Isn't it the best? Thank you
I'm
so
gonna
much,
look at being
Chris.
more optimistic next week.
We hope. Thank you, Chris Cillizza.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Chris Cillizza, independent news creator. See him on Substack, YouTube, Newsphere, and News Nation. Also, his daily newsletter, which you should subscribe to, is called So What? Chris Cillizza with us every Monday, just after 11 o'clock on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-777-1979. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-777-1979. That's 800-777-1979. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-777-1979. 800-777-1979.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonihan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hi, Debbie Monterey with Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria, you've been helping families for more than 22 years with your guarantees, your buyers in waiting program, and you were telling me that between now and the end of the year is a good time to sell. Can you share why?
Always good to see you. When it comes to timing, the spring and fall selling season have historically been the most active. However, due to raised home value and affordability, this market still has lots of sellers and buyers on the sidelines. Fact is, between now and year end is a great time to discuss the sale of your home. I have guaranteed sale program solutions for every situation, including instant multiple cash offers, 100% market value, or my trusted guarantee sale program, where I'll sell your home at our agreed upon price, or I will buy it myself.
Sounds like a plan. The time is now. Call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com, GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Hey, it's Jeff at Saks Financial. I got a free event coming up to maximize your Social Security, September 22nd and 23rd. Come meet me in person and find out how to maximize your Social Security. Sign up at retiresafestl.com/events.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium. Explore the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station.
So, John, drive carefully out there. This is from Missouri Department of Transportation, MoDOT.
Yes.
And they say all lanes of eastbound Interstate 70 past Interstate 64 closed due to an overturned tractor trailer. Traffic is using the right shoulder to pass the crash. So that is eastbound 70 past 64.
Boy, that's where they're doing all that widening, adding lanes and so forth. And
Oh, it is backed up too.
Yeah, that's not good. And that part of St. Louis is there's a traffic jam there almost all the time anyway. Right, where 70 and 64 come together.
So you and Chris Saliza were talking about that piece, and that was how American politics went insane. And that's from 2016.
Yep.
From July, August, right prior to the election. Yep. It's and I have not had a chance to read this.
It's long. It's a long
Yes,
piece.
it's in the Atlantic.
I've recommended it to a lot of people.
So what should people take away from it if they and you definitely recommend they read the thing?
Yeah,
so
because it is counterintuitive, and it's not just about politics. It's also about governing, and reforms that we have implemented that were designed to make things better. The author of that equates it to basically you take your immune system and just rip it out, and things like the seniority system in Congress, things like earmarks, which you think, why are we doing these earmarks? Well, earmarks for many, many years in this country was how we got legislation passed. You work out a deal, and here's a project you need this project done in Montana. Well, I need you to vote on, and that's how, Congress kind of worked, and they were party bosses and political that kind of ran things, and people will find that distasteful, but those were the informal things that the founders didn't put in the Constitution, but they grew up around the Constitution that created a well-functioning institution of government. And today, whatever you may think of this guy's premise, I think there would be pretty universal agreement that the institutional functioning of our government today is not working.
Well, things a lot of times get done in very messy ways, right? And
Sure.
that's sort of what the sentiment is here, is that look, it's not going to be, you want to pass a bill, right? It's not always possible to pass this clean bill that has no other BS in it.
Sure.
Because you have to get votes to get something that you want.
Yep.
Right? Because we're talking about pretty big country, very, very different interests in different parts of the country, where one county in this state might need something, another county has no use for that whatsoever. But it's you have to be able to make those compromises.
Well, and we do it in life. I mean, it's not. So you and a group of friends, you're going to decide you want to go out to dinner. Where are we going to go? Oh, I don't care. Where you want to go, Chris? I don't know. I don't. And so finally somebody says, well, let's go here. Yeah, no, I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
And then somebody else says,
Every girlfriend I've ever had.
Yeah, exactly. And well, then let's go over here. And eventually you got 3 or 4 options on the table. Somebody has got to step into that and say, okay, look, it's 6:15. We got to go. Can everybody live with Applebee's? No. So, but you eventually get someplace.
Yeah.
Where, okay, yeah, let's do that. And that's how law gets
And
passed.
maybe and not everybody likes the place,
Right.
but you're trying to reach a consensus so
Yes.
that you can get somewhere.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, that part of government's over.
Well,
forever.
Well, you never know. Although I do think they probably eat pretty well.
Well, yeah, you never have a bad time at Applebee's.
There you go.
So Amy and I have welcomed in a new client here, part of the fold, and it is Krentz Financial. Todd Krentz, Justin Brown, Kyle Busch, just really good dudes who have their heads on straight. And for over 6 decades, the Krentz Financial Group has been helping people in St. Louis, families and businesses, plan with purpose and live with confidence. So we're talking about your goals, and their mission is to make your goals happen. At Krentz Financial, they offer a variety of services tailored to your needs. They know that, life will throw things at you and you are not expecting them to happen. Big life changes. Maybe you're selling a business. Maybe you're getting a divorce. Maybe you lose a loved one or you gain an inheritance. It can be really overwhelming no matter what it is. And Krentz Financial will provide all the resources and the support and guidance that you need to move forward. Maybe you've changed your job. Well, you don't want to leave your 401k behind at your old job. So give our people at Krentz a call and they will help you work through it. And maybe you're just worried about retirement. at this point of your life. You know, how you're going to replace the paycheck that you're getting now. Krentz Financial. They are proactive. They'll make sure that you can find ways, and they will help you do that so that you can enjoy your retirement the way you want to and the way you've worked a lifetime to get to. Krentz Financial, they can help navigate all of this very complex financial decisions. So learn more by going to kfgadvisors.com. That's kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Krantz Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making Genesis of St. Charles the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2025. We know your time is valuable. That's why every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet within 125 miles. We're closer than you think. That means complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. Or want something new? We'll bring the test drive to you. Visit genesisofstcharles.com today. Based on GMA sales records for 2024. See dealer for details.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights, at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Oh, baby, it is warm outside. It's going to be warm all week long. Right now in St. Louis, 85 degrees. The AccuWeather Real Feel is 97. The high today is going to be 93. The weather brought to you by our guys, our people at Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Martins came over, we were having spaghetti when we suddenly noticed that we started getting sweaty. So we grabbed the keys and we ate it in the van. That's what my friend said, call Jerry Kelly, man, JerryKelly.com. Give him a call, even though it's late, JerryKelly.com.
This isn't your typical lunchtime baseball chatter. This is the Gas House Gang.
I'll say this. Here's my perspective.
Tom Ackerman, Chris Ronchi, Mike Claiborne, and Bernie Miklasz bring smart, informed Cards talk. And every Tuesday,
we welcome in the manager of the Cardinals, Oliver Marmol.
You want real Cardinals conversation? You're in the right place. The Gas House Gang, weekdays at noon on 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of baseball.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here for FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, and FanDuel is coming to Missouri. So on December 1st, you'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams in all your favorite sports. And with FanDuel, there are just a ton of ways to get in on the action. You can bet on everything from the money line to over-unders, to which team's going to win it all at the end of the season. And with live betting, you can make it more immediate. You can even pick which player is going to score the next touchdown, and then the one after that, and the one after that, and so on. And I can't tell you how excited I am because I love FanDuel. I've been with them since they launched their daily fantasy games, and I've been using the FanDuel Sportsbook for years now when I've been in states that allow me to play. Well, coming December 1st, Missouri is one of those states. Now you and I, we can experience FanDuel in the comfort of our own homes. So see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel, play your game. 21 and older and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Dave Glover, and I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Dr. Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. Just go to youridoc.com.
The Musial Awards celebrates its 20th year on Saturday, November 22nd at Stiefel Theater. You can be in the audience for this nationally televised event hosted right here in St. Louis. It's a night to be entertained and inspired. Tickets at musialawards.com.
The countdown to kickoff starts here. Friday's focus on Mizzou, the Chiefs, and the NFL, only on KMOX.
John Hancock, Chris Ranji, 104.1 FM KMOX. It is Hispanic Heritage Month happening right now. It goes from today through October 15th. And coming up is the 29th annual Greater St. Louis Hispanic Festival, which takes place in Soulard Park. And that's right by the Soulard Market, if you know where I'm talking about. And that goes on from the 19th through the 21st. And joining us in studio right now, we're very happy to have Elisa Bender. who is the organizer of the Hispanic Festival, with us at KMOX. How you doing?
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So there was first of all, let's start with the flag raising ceremony. You were telling us a little history about the flag itself, and that happened this morning with the mayor.
Correct. Down at City Hall here downtown, we did the raising of the first Hispanic heritage flag. We actually came up with that about 2 years ago, had it created by...
Right here in St. Louis.
Yes, exactly. By a local artist, Jose Garza. He actually is an educator at the Kemper Museum at WashU. And with a committee and focus group of people across the state, came up with a flag 2 years ago, and now raise it here in the city. We just raised it in the county on Friday, and it's raising across the United States.
Wow. So I was about to ask, it was a national flag and not just a local St. Louis thing.
Correct.
That's
It originally
cool.
was going to be, local. And then as we were creating it and talking about it, it's honestly, it's a national thing.
Are we going to get some food at some point in this festival?
Of course.
All right.
Yes.
Tell me about the food.
Well, we have food from all kinds of different countries: Mexico, Honduras, Panama, Peru. So we have food all over the place. And that's probably the number one reason people come to the festival is to eat, because we have delicious, delicious food like tacos, tamales, empanadas, you name it. We probably have it.
All the best stuff.
Yes.
So,
exactly.
we'll get back to the food in a minute. But what else happens at the festival people should know about?
Well, we have lots of vendors, not just food, but we have a lot of artisans that come out. So we have clothing and jewelry and homewares from all different countries. We actually even have vendors that come specifically from Latin America for our event. So that's pretty exciting. But we also have information booths, and I think the second thing that people come out for is the entertainment, because there's so much going on at the main stage with live Latino music and dancers.
Yeah. So, and you have a Bad Bunny theme night?
Yes.
That's on Friday?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. We are so excited. Bad Bunny is
a big deal.
Yes, he is a big deal. And we love him across this whole country. So, to us, he represents not just what's happening now and current, but also preserving the culture. So we have a Bad Bunny theme night, and we're going to be playing, of course, his hits and other reggaeton anthem hits. And, it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got cars. We've got DJ Eric Sensation. DJ Jose is coming, and pina coladas and mojitos. And it's going to be a good time.
Wow.
I get down with it.
How about that? St. Louis has a very active and effective Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
And are they part of this whole effort?
Yes. The Hispanic Chamber of Commerce right now, ran by Martha Garcia, is great. They're wonderful. They are one of our biggest supporters. And, businesses right now is really helping driving our community forward. So they're going to be there, I believe, all weekend also.
Yeah, and Hispanic-owned businesses span the gamut of different business, not just restaurants. It's everything.
It is. It's everything. Business to business, construction, lawn care. It's everything. And one thing, too, with this community, we are spread out throughout all of St. Louis, not just in one area, but like all over the place.
So this event will get started on Friday, and it goes through the weekend. There's the music. You've got dancing, the food. Is it local restaurants or just individuals who are preparing food for the event?
It's a little combination of both. So we actually originally started with just having more mom and pop rather than restaurants, but some of our vendors have become really successful and have opened brick and mortars, which is wonderful. So they still come back. So we have the amazing Arepa Bar will be there, and Tango Argentina both have brick and mortars. But then we also have a few vendors that they only come out to our Hispanic festival to serve food. They come out, from recipes that their grandparents or parents taught them, and they come to the festival to sell food and to even show people how they make it.
Tell me about these Dia de los Muertos parties.
Oh my gosh, Dia de los Muertos. So that is celebrated mostly in Mexico and also in parts of Latin and South America. It is November 1st and 2nd, usually when it's celebrated, but it's a time to honor the deceased. But instead of it being, a sad time, it is more of a celebration of life.
So there's one in Clayton that'll happen in October, right? And
Yes.
then a couple of others in November.
Correct. We're going to do, I believe it's October 25th 25th.
Yep.
Yeah, October 25th in Clayton. We're going to do a Dia los Muertos face painting, a pet altar, a community altar, of course, some food and music. Then the following weekend, November 1st and 2nd, we'll be at the Missouri History Museum
In
doing a
Forest
weekend
Park.
long. Yes, it
Yeah.
is. That's a great time. There's activities inside and out. And again, more food, more dancing, more music. And then the last one is Saturday, November 8th, Missouri Botanical Garden. That's
that'll be
something new this year.
gorgeous.
Yeah, something new. And I think that'll be a little bit more on the educational side, with the flowers and the monarch butterflies. So we're really excited to work with them this year.
And to find out more, where would I go?
You could go to our website, HispanicFestivalSTL.com, or of course, visit us on social media, Hispanic Fest STL.
What sort of community support do you rely on for this? Is it just people coming out, or do you have other support leading up to the event?
We have a committee that makes, honestly, a committee. We meet every week all year round. It's a lot, and we're all volunteers. But, we also have, beyond that, we have a lot of organizations, businesses, community members that really rally around us and try to, support everything that we do, and especially these events, especially right now. Really, really happy to have the community support by both Hispanic partners and non-Hispanic partners, both.
Which country has the best food?
Okay, I'm going to say Bolivia. I'm sorry,
Well,
because
that's
I'm
right.
Bolivian.
There's bias there.
I will go number 2, Mexico.
Oh, all right.
So what is a Bolivian food? Like, what are some staples?
So a salteña, which is similar to an empanada. It's probably my number 1 favorite food on the planet.
Oh.
It's delicious. And then rice and chicken and the usual.
Oh,
yeah.
It's Arepa, that bar. That's the place that's kind of close to the studio here, right?
Yes.
Venezuelan food?
Yes, exactly. The amazing Repa Bar. Myra and her sister Maria, they run that place.
It's really
and
good in there.
It's delicious. And they'll be there this weekend too.
I'm very
Here for the
hungry.
food. All right.
Very hungry.
HispanicFestivalSTL.com. Is there anything that you want people to know about that we have not talked about yet?
The only thing is on Friday during the day while we're open, we are really focusing on student and kids. We have got schools coming out. So if people want to come with their kids during the day on Friday, we've got a lot of educational activities. We even have like piñatas, and kids learn how to make paper Mexican flowers. We're just doing a lot of things that are focused on kids and games, things that'll happen on Friday that really won't necessarily happen Saturday and Sunday.
And a great opportunity if you've got school-age kids that are taking Spanish in school. So many of you out there probably do. It's a good place to test out your communication skills, right?
Exactly.
Well, I never learned. I tried. I was in high school and I tried. And then I thought I really should have done this in college too. I really regret not learning Spanish
Me
better.
too. I had 3 semesters of it. Hermana Cecilia, she was great. She liked me.
She did?
She did. I couldn't. The only thing I knew was C, which is what ironically, that's what I got in Spanish class.
Yeah.
I know how to ask for the bathroom.
Yeah,
That's probably the best thing.
I know how to ask for where the bathroom is.
And we got the La Biblioteca across the street here, too.
That's a library.
Yeah.
Very good, John.
Very good.
Thank you
Wow,
very
I'm
much.
super impressed. So it is Hispanic Heritage Month right now. Starting today, goes through October 15th.
Yes.
And this weekend is the Greater St. Louis Hispanic Festival at Soulard Park. It starts on Friday, goes through the weekend. Food, music, dancing. It's all there. HispanicFestivalSTL.com is the website. Elisa, we appreciate you coming in. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That is Elisa Bender, organizer of the Hispanic Festival, which is happening this weekend at Soulard Park. You should go by. Hispanic Festival.
All y'all should go by.
All y'all. Yeah. HispanicFestivalSTL.com.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, focusing on the Siteman Kids program at St. Louis Children's Hospital, and Dr. Mohammed Abdul-Baki.
I think we're definitely one of the top brain tumor programs in the whole country and in the world as well. We are the top program in Missouri that has trained pediatric neuro-oncologist.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, go to siteman.wustl.edu.
The KMOX City SC Soccer Showcase, presented by Michelob Ultra, is back. Next stop, Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill in Arnold, Thursday, September 18th. A limited number of fans can get an autographed picture from City SC player Timo Bunkardel. Win great prizes, enjoy great food, and a cold drink. Hot Shots in Arnold is the place to be Thursday, September 18th from 6 till 8 p.m. for the City SC Soccer Showcase, presented by Michelob Ultra. For more info, kmox.com/events.
Your home equity could vanish almost overnight, stolen by scammers who forge a deed and transfer it out of your name. The FBI calls it house stealing, and the worst part is you may not know it until it's too late. Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO for a 30-day free trial, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now. Promo code RADIO.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Now, 90 and 60. A look back at the latest St. Louis City SC match. Presented by Woods Basement Systems, Inc.
Klaus pulls it down, tries to take a shot, ends up with Fulham, and Conrad Fulham slips it into the side shelf. 11th minute in Montreal. Bonjour, baby, bonjour. In the D for Klaus, plays to Hartle, he shoots and scores. Oh, puts it back post on the deck, and it's a 2-goal lead for St. Louis City. Oh, he's a point blank against Berkey, and Roman gets out in front. Your final, St. Louis City 2, CF Montreal 0.
Up next, City SC faces the San Jose Earthquake Saturday night. Kick at 9:30 on Y98.
Tripping over uneven concrete? Don't replace it, raise it with concrete leveling. Call the all things basementy experts, Wood Basement Systems, for a free estimate at 618-249-5503 or learn more at woodsbasementsystems.com.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-201-7676, 800-201-7676, 800-201-7676.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
All right, John, I figured it out. I have figured out how to fix the response time for 911 in St. Louis or in any market in the country if you're experiencing. Okay, so as you know, I have to get myself a new vehicle.
A new car.
I was involved in an accident, and I hate this process. I did not want to have to get a new car. My car had like 63,000 miles on it.
Just getting started.
I could have driven this thing for another 40 years.
Yeah.
But now I got to get a new car because it's totaled. So I'm PO'd about that.
Yeah, it's not good.
So I did this thing before, and I knew better. I knew better because a few years ago, I was just tossing around the idea like, maybe I'll get a new car. Didn't really need to, but I thought, maybe.
Yeah.
And I went to a bunch of websites, car dealers in town, and oh, that looks nice. Let me take a look at this. Oh, they want you to give them your name and phone number and email address to find out the price or whatever, right?
Yep, I know what's coming now.
So let me tell you something. for months, and I never bought a car. I decided to keep what I had. For months, every day, just bombarded with phone calls, text messages, and emails from dealerships. You still interested in a car? You interested in a car? Do you need a new car? So it finally died off.
Yeah.
So now that I have to, I made the mistake the other day.
You did it again.
I did it just once. One car. And I'm, John, I said, it was like, fill this out and you can get our best. We'll tell you what our best price is. So I did it. You want to know how long it took for me to get a phone call?
3 minutes.
Not even.
Wow.
Less than 1 minute.
Wow.
My phone was ringing.
That's incredible.
Less than 1 minute, this dealership called me. And then multiple emails the same day, 2 different text messages same day. The next day, phone call, text message, email. The next day, phone call, text message, email. So if we have any problem with 911 and the response time, I think that local car dealerships should take over 911 because they are so responsive.
They're very good.
They will get back to you.
They're concerned about you.
Oh my God, they'll get back to you in a minute.
Yeah.
Less than a minute.
Trying to find. I'm excited about this whole car thing because it's been a while since I bought a car, and
you're excited. I'm not.
Oh no, this is great.
I
It's
hate
a
this
whole
process.
new thing. So now we're going new or used? Have we narrowed it down?
Dude, so I'm overwhelmed. I feel like I just get a pre-owned. I don't know. I don't know, man. I hate this process. I don't want to do it.
How much do you drive in a typical year? Oh, you go to Chicago a ton.
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know. I don't. I've never really kept track of it. So I don't know what to tell you.
You don't look at take a peek at the old odometer every now and then?
Not really.
Huh.
So like when this car got totaled, the body shop had to tell me how many miles were on it.
Right. Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you only had 63,000 miles. Like, oh, come on, man.
Now, have you had to fill out the paperwork to get the money from the insurance company?
So I have it. I have the paperwork.
All right. Let me help you here because I just lived through this.
Oh no.
Horrible. So you get this thing, from the insurance company. You got to fill out because my car was totaled. And so you got your title here.
Uh-huh.
And you fill out the title, and then
I got the title.
Then you write the odometer, whatever, on there, and you sign it. You send it back to them, and then there's another form to fill out where you check a box and sign it and put the mileage on it. Well, the mileage, I didn't remember. I knew it was about what it was, So I put what I thought the about what it was, and then I remembered. Oh yeah, the thing they sent me had a mileage on it, so I looked at that. So I just, over the top, I corrected a couple of the numbers and fixed the odometer mark and send it in. Can't do that.
Oh.
Can't do that. If it's been marked over or marked, I said the car is total. Nobody will ever drive this car again. Doesn't matter. So you got to put the exact mileage on the odometer. And then they send you a sample of your title and they tell you this is how you fill it out. Then the other form, they send you a sample of it. The sample of it's got all 3 boxes checked. So I checked all 3 boxes, and I signed the thing and I wrote the odometer, sent that in. No, you're only supposed to check the top box. Well, the sample had all 3 boxes checked. Very frustrating. So make sure that you send it in right the first time, Raj. Otherwise, it'll come back to you and you go back to them and it's just a whole thing.
Oh, John, this is, I don't, and
it's a lot. It's a lot.
Do you want to take a guess what's happened? And I'm not kidding. I am not exaggerating when I say this. Since we've been talking about this,
you've gotten
an email from that one dealership.
They want you, man. They want you. The question is, how badly do they want you?
It is extraordinary. Yeah. Do they want me so much that they're going to give me a great deal on a vehicle?
Paul on here says you ought to go electric.
I thought about that, and I like the idea of electric. I don't like the idea of having to stop in the middle of a road trip to wait 15 minutes and charge my car up. Well, I don't like that idea.
You got to get one of those,
hybrids.
You could do that.
Yeah.
Huh. Kelly's got an electric car, loves it.
I know.
Absolutely loves it.
And so we've talked about that because he said the same thing. Like if you're taking longer road trips, like you're driving somewhere, you may not want to do this just yet.
We're driving down to Branson in a couple of weeks.
You and Michael?
Yeah. Got to give a talk down there.
Oh.
And so I think we'll probably go in his car.
What are you talking about?
Politics.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You should be talking about
people come from inches around.
How about this? From inches around. Could you do me a favor? Would you like to buy me a car?
Sure. What do you, I mean, if the price is right.
Yeah, all right. We'll talk about it.
All right.
I'll give you a little down payment. What do you think of that?
That'd be awful nice. I'll finance it for you. How about that?
What? 0% APR?
I can't do that.
Oh, they got the APR. The 0% APR.
Are they still doing that?
No, I think
I can't imagine they are.
There are certain cars, certain models that they will do it for, I don't know how many months. But yeah. Anyway, I hate this process. I do not want nothing to do with it.
It's a rigmarole.
It is a whole rigmarole, and I want nothing to do with it. Hey, do we know if we're going to be at Busch Stadium or not on Wednesday?
We don't know. I think we will be there regardless.
There's a reasonable chance that we will be.
But we don't
the Cardinals
know
are playing the Cincinnati Reds. The Cardinals, by Wednesday, might be in contention for that second wild card.
It's possible.
Third wild card spot. Yeah.
Well, it's possible. A lot of things have to break their way.
If they win the first two games of this series, they will be a half game behind Cincinnati and potentially as close to 2 games out of the, probably not, but it could be as few as 2 games out of that final wild card spot.
So the Giants are a game and a half behind the Mets for the final wild card.
Yep.
Arizona's 2 games out. Reds are 2.5, and the Cardinals are 4.
Oh, so we're only a game and a half behind. We could be ahead of Cincinnati.
Could be ahead
by
of Cincinnati.
Wednesday.
And John and I will be broadcasting live from Ballpark Village, somewhere on the grounds. We're going to be there.
Wow.
Part of Jerry Kelly's 100 Acts of Kindness.
Oh yeah.
We're going to have a compliment wheel.
Yeah.
We're going to deliver compliments to people. Because we thought we'd do something nice. Maybe you're having a bad day. We want you to stop by, and you need to start thinking about compliments to deliver to people.
Oh, I don't like to talk, Raj, but a lot of people think that I possess the gift of encouragement.
Oh,
so come on by and I'll encourage you.
So you're going to be much better at this than Amy would have been. She does not know how to encourage you.
Is that right?
Yeah, she's just give up on your dreams.
Huh.
Which is a much easier way to look at life.
I miss old Amy. She'll be back here soon enough. I guess.
She's coming back at some point.
Yeah.
Unless is she in Colorado?
She could be anywhere. I tell you what though, I'd like to have her gig with the vacation days.
She gets more vacation.
It's impressive
than anybody I've ever seen in my whole life.
It's impressive. I went on vacation once.
And?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while.
You're about to go to Branson with Michael Kelly.
Well,
that
that's
sounds like
hardly a vacation. It's hardly a vacation.
Well, as much fun as you all have, it's like a vacation.
We do have a good time. We took over that pool hall last time we were down there.
Speaking of vacation, that man's in a different country. Michael, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in Greece, buddy.
That guy's living a life.
He does.
My God.
Absolutely does.
Tell me about it.
He's in Greece with 2 women.
John Hancock, it'll be Brad Young and me tomorrow.
Hey!
But
I won't
you
be
and I
here.
will be back Ballpark Village on Wednesday.
That's going to be great.
Cardinals Day game. We'll be taking you right up until that point.
Be awesome.
John and I will be there thanks to Jerry Kelly, heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical.
Doing good things for lots of people.
Giving you compliments. So if you want a compliment, stop by.
Bring it on over.
All right. That's John Hancock. I'm Chris Ranji. Anything you missed on the show, on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts, I'll be back with you tomorrow at 9 a.m. with Brad Young.
Yeah.
We'll have you from 9 to noon. But coming up next, it is the Gas House Gang. Tom Ackerman and me. John Rooney joins the show. The Cardinals starting their last homestand of the season tonight. This has been the Chris and Amy Show, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
I mean, every stitch of clothes I had smelled like a hog farm.
Tom Ackerman here for Abuse